October 17th. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiane Till.
Welcome back. If you're looking to change up your space this new year, don't want to make a mess, listen up. It's time for DBL Home Hacks presented by American Home Shield. So paint is messy, but peel and stick wallpaper isn't. It's a great way to spice up a space, and you can change it when you are over it. Next, artwork without any nail holes. You can actually buy peel and stick art prints. And lastly, hang beautiful curtains without leaving any marks from hooks or nails. Instead, use a tension rod. And remember, a home warranty plan from American Home Shield helps cover things homeowner insurance leaves out, like breakdowns of major components of home systems and appliances. You can rest easy knowing you're ready for whatever breakdowns inevitably strike. Visit ahs.com to find a plan that's right for you. Wallpaper. Jeffrey, you into wallpaper?
Not really. I'm more of a paint guy, but I think it's coming back. I think that wallpaper look's coming back.
I do too, and I know Sam's put on a lot of cool, like big. Would you do? I feel like you do a nice floral wallpaper.
Yes, I think my girl's more in them earth tones, so that's what our house. I want to see what Jeff's backsplash looks like.
Oh, I know.
That's just a nice backsplash.
What a fascinating combo. DBL's new everyday.
Kitchen talk.
We'll see you Monday, same time, same place.
I'm glad I could join you guys today. Thanks.
Bye.
Family members mourn the deaths of those who died in a New York City apartment building. Fire investigators are still piecing together what happened. The fire department quickly focused on doors that were left open and launched a social media campaign about the dangers of open doors during fires.
And you can prevent that fire from spreading and harming others. Close the door.
So let's verify. Can a closed door help limit the spread of fire and smoke? Our sources are Jim Milkey, chair of the Department of Fire Protection Engineering at the University of Maryland, and U.S. Fire Administrator Dr. Lori Moore Merrow. Both tell Verify closed doors limit the supply of oxygen, which helps fuel fires.
What happens when we don't close doors is that the fire is allowed to feed on the air that it has.
A closed door can also limit how far smoke can travel. New York fire officials say smoke inhalation was the cause of death for all victims.
The fire didn't spread beyond the third floor, but the smoke did, and that was the culprit for the deaths.
It's not just entry doors that can help contain a fire. Firefighters are stressing the importance of closing bedroom doors while sleeping because it can help buy you and everyone else in your home time to escape.
It's giving you that additional time for either to get out an exterior window or for fire department folks to arrive.
So it's true, a closed door can help limit the spread of fire and smoke. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates,
There's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
hot celebs,
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
and all the laughs. DBL is all new every day. Where, for middle school girls, why a letter sent home had parents outraged. A former Miss Universe gets kicked off a plane for wearing something too revealing. Should she have to cover up? And our interview with Real Housewives star Dorit Kemsley, how she's healing after a terrifying home invasion. Plus, her message for Andy Cohen. I'll give him when I see him again. Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll. Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it through the week, Tori. We did Friday. Okay.
All right, Erica and Dr. Coley joining us from home. Hello, ladies. Great to see you both. Today, we're going to actually start with some good news. Good. Maybe. We're almost there. New virus cases have begun to slow in several U.S. cities where Omicron first hit, thank goodness. But Dr. Coley, does this mean that we've hit peak Omicron, and do you think that we'll start to see cases going back down, please?
Ladies, happy Friday, and Friday brings us good news. So in fact, yes, many medical experts are saying that countries like the UK, South Africa may have already crossed their peak. We are not yet at our peak nationally, but there are cities that are starting to see cases go down or seeing the rate of growth go down. So I think we're really, really, really close. We just have to wait for it.
Thank goodness. Yeah, thank you for that.
You say, wait, I need like a timeline. Is this happening like next week? Is it going to be a month? Are we all getting Omicron? Does that mean that this peak means that it's like, you know, for real this time?
No, great question, Erica. So girl, you have to wait about 2 to 4 weeks is what I would say. Do not get Omicron in the meantime if you can avoid it. I know you've just recovered and thankfully looking beautiful and doing well. But for the rest of us, do not get it if you don't have to, because it is possible that you could avoid it as the number of cases starts to go down. So I love to use a snow analogy because I love the winter and I love snow. But basically, you know, we were in the thick of the snowstorm. It was really, really, really snowing out there. And now the rate of snowing has gone down, but we're not quite ready to leave our house yet. We got to wait till tomorrow morning when the sun comes out, and then we can dig out from the snow.
Here comes the sun. Thank you for that. It was beautiful. I do want to talk about this. It's really, really bugging me out. But yesterday, the Supreme Court, if you didn't know, blocked the president's vaccine mandate for large businesses. They did allow it for healthcare workers. So, Dr. Coley, from a very specific medical perspective, I just wanted to know what you thought of the decision.
Well, guys, I have to say the medical part makes a ton of sense. I mean, that's brilliant, right? When you go to the hospital for your stroke or your cancer treatment or your heart attack, the last thing you want to do is to catch COVID from someone on your healthcare team who may not know that they're infected. And I've personally seen that happen to a number of patients. So I'm thrilled that this is happening on a system-wide level. But it really upsets me. Actually, I'm frankly angry. And I really just don't understand the logic behind not applying the same science to a large employer organization with over 100 employees where we know that COVID spreads from person to person. So how in the world does it make any sense to say, oh yeah, it's good for hospitals to do that, but not for other workplaces? And I think all they've done is made our lives more difficult. And I'm really upset about it. But how do you guys feel? Do you think that this is a reasonable thing to do, or?
I think it will prolong the virus. It will just continue to prolong the virus, and I just want anything to hasten the end of the virus, simply put.
I'm exactly with Tori. What about you, Erica?
But Tori, you're all about
No, go ahead, Dr. Coley.
I was just going to say, Tori is all about legal rights and making sure we're protecting people's legal rights. Do you think we're violating their rights by asking them to get vaccines? And Erica, I want your opinion as well.
Not only is there precedent from 1905, Jackson versus Massachusetts, that already said no, we already have this with polio, diphtheria, going yellow fever if you have to go across. Vaccine mandates are ruled constitutional. It has been long in our history's past. George Washington inoculated his group of people and his soldiers with smallpox inoculation and quarantined people. So I find it completely inane, just like you said. Sorry, little outburst.
No, thank you for that history lesson. It was wonderful.
Sorry. Oh.
Facts.
Exactly. So then I want
you know what? I should have copied off of Tori on my history test, because history was not my thing. I'm a science person.
I doubt that, Dr. Coley. I'm sure you had A+ in every subject.
I did too.
But what effect do you think, Dr. Coley, it would have had on the pandemic if they did indeed allow the vaccine mandate to go through?
A huge effect, guys. You've already seen the effect of the vaccines in just one short year, getting our lives back to normal, making it less severe. As Tori said, not only would it have shortened the duration of this pain that we're all having to go through with the masks and the mitigation measures, but I actually believe that this decision has cost human lives. Because for every 1 million cases that you have of the infection, you're going to have some percentage end up like our poor Eric, end up losing their lives, end up in the ICU, end up with long-term disability. And this sort of what I think is a bit of a callous decision, and definitely not scientifically supported, is going to pay the price of human lives.
Wow. Wow. Well said, Dr. Coley. Okay, we always want to involve our viewers, and a lot of our viewers are asking, what type of mask is the best mask for Omicron specifically? Is it time to ditch that cloth and paper mask? And also, another viewer asked the difference between the N95 and the KN95 masks.
Yeah, so definitely get rid of those cloth masks. I don't want to see any of them on any of your pretty faces from now on. So the least you can do is the surgical mask, but as you know, it's thin and it's loose fitting. So this is the bare minimum. And this is what I might use if I'm walking around outside in the park, for example. But if I'm going inside a grocery store, I'm going to get the KN95, which is thicker, and it has a material that actually has better filtration capacity, and it fits tighter to my face. Easier to wear because it goes around the year. But the best mask, the Tesla of the masks that I like to call it, is the N95. This is what doctors wear when they go in to see patients that have tuberculosis, for example.
Yeah.
Because not only is it thicker, the shape of it actually makes sure that it kind of protects your nose and your mouth. It's got straps that fit around your head, so it's really nice tight fit, and it has little particles in it that are charged with electrostatic properties that actually trap virus particles.
Wow.
So I wear this when I see patients, and this is the best one in terms of protection.
Good to know.
I should have cheated on her for science.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about the KN95 masks, because people don't know how long they should be wearing them before they throw them out, and are they washable?
Yeah, so we've been saying single use only, but I know that that's not particularly practical, especially because they can get expensive. If you're wearing an N95, it can be a couple of dollars. So what I like to do, guys, is to put it on the inside and then put, surgical mask on top that I can sort of throw out every day. And so I'm not bringing in a dirty surgical mask and putting it back on my face. But you can't wash them. You cannot wash them because it's going to degrade the material, affect the properties, and affect the fit. So what I would say is wear it maybe 4 or 5 times up to a week, depending on whether or not you think it starts to feel a little funky to you at some point, or the elastic's getting a little too stretched or whatever. But don't wear it longer than that, because you're going to start to lose some of the protective benefits.
Great information. Before we let you go, Dr. Coley, I saw this new study, and I have to ask you about it. It found that women are 32% more likely to die after an operation if their surgeon is male. Can you tell me more about this, and what should some of our women viewers right now do when picking their doctors?
So, I want to give you my perspective as a woman, and then I want to give you my perspective as a physician. So this is an observational study where we looked at the observed, just how people do with what type of patient gender and what type of physician gender. And what we found is when there's a discordance between the patient specifically being female and the doctor being male, they might do a little worse. But to me, guys, this doesn't tell me as a physician that are less experts, are more inefficient at what they do, or they're not doing their job right. What it tells me is that, and reminds me, is that the connection to the patient is probably one of the most important things in terms of determining their outcome. So I feel like this is more a reflection of how connected the patient feels to the physician, how comfortable they're asking questions. And as a female cardiologist, I often get women coming to me and saying, I want another woman, because women understand women a little better. But how do you guys react to this? Do you think it'll affect the gender of the doctor that you might pick?
I just naturally gravitate towards female doctors. That's just me. Erica, go ahead. Sorry.
Me too.
I think that the same logic can be applied even for race.
Yes,
we've been having this conversation about the disparity in healthcare, and I think that this is just another layer of that same conversation.
Well said, Erica. Dr. Coley, thank you.
It's so true.
We appreciate Dr. Coley. Have a great weekend. I hope you're not working, but you probably are. If you guys have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. Thank you again, Dr. Coley. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey guys, want to read a few of what you guys are saying. I appreciate you appreciating you when I get on the call. You know what I mean, on this thing? So thank you. Stewie Griffin, which by the way, great name. He always mentions every word in every word is in uppercase. I don't know how he does it, but he wrote, "Listen to doctors, they will save your life." And I thought, you know what? I'm going to say that out loud because somebody out there might need to hear it. Somebody says, and you know what I love about you guys is someone's like, I hope you're feeling well in the chat. The chat has become a little bit of like a COVID platform for me, like a social platform. I don't know if it's become that for you guys, but it's a place I go consistently and routinely to voice my opinions and know that I won't get hurt. And if someone is gonna be there and a keyboard warrior, what do, Tiffany? We kick them out. We kick them out. We kick them out. But I just want to say it's lovely to have a safe space. And I think a lot of you wrote me yesterday on my birthday and said that it has been that way for you. So I really appreciate YouTube and all of that. Also, Al says I look like a pretty woman.
Ryan says you look like Pebbles Flintstone.
Pebbles Flintstone. On the street, a pretty woman. The kind I'd like to reach, pretty woman. Yeah, I don't believe. That's Roy Orbison, everyone. Thank you.
Now, if you go to Hollywood on, is it Las Palmas Street? You can see the apartment that Richard Gere pulled up to and then climbed that little ladder and where she's perched. I think it's Las Palmas. I used to live right there.
And he says, what happens when he rescues the princess? And she says, she'll rescue him right back.
Yes.
Ah! What a line!
And wasn't she just a baby, like 20 or 21?
Very young. Remember the Sharpie? When it was black Sharpie, when it was all...
Off a lot more mature. Very much.
Welcome back to DBL. Al is here joining us from home. Hi, Al. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday.
Thank you. Well, we got some big news from across the pond, and it's bad for the royal family, especially Prince Andrew. He has been forced to give up his military titles as well as all of his royal duties supporting charities. And this is all because a federal judge in New York has allowed the sexual abuse case against him to move forward. Now he'll have to face the lawsuit as a private citizen. Virginia Giuffre has accused him of raping her when she was a teenager. She reacted to the news. Her case will move forward, saying, quote, "My goal has always been to show the rich and the powerful that they are not above the law and must be held accountable." Okay, so Al, here's the thing. When they made that determination, it's because they feel they have enough evidence to prosecute him. So again, we try on the show not to speculate. You're innocent until proven guilty, but knowing that DA feels they have enough evidence, to me, there's a lot of fire there.
Well, I mean, the DA aside, I think the royal family thinks that there's enough evidence because they are really just kind of offering him up as a sacrifice. Like, look, we both agree that this person has done something that was not okay and they need to be punished. I mean, before this, I think that this would have been stonewalled by the royal family, but the fact that they are so publicly stripping him of his status, I think is a big indicator that he's in some trouble, as he should be if he is guilty of these crimes.
I'm glad it just reached royalty. I'm just glad it got to where it needed to go. I will say this, there's the Platinum Jubilee for the Queen. She's the longest reigning monarch in history, British history.
Coming up.
Coming up on February 6th, where everyone throws pudding parties and they celebrate the Queen. And I wonder if the visuals and optics needed this to happen before February 6th.
That's interesting. Erica, what are you thinking about all this? And this is a civil case, I just want to say, not criminal. This is civil, but still, if we can get some justice.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I think Prince Andrew is just another member of the Lucky Conception Club who used his power and all of his privilege to abuse and do predatory behavior against young women. And it's absolutely appropriate for him to be standing up for himself civilly as a private citizen because he's just another dude who, for all practical purposes, did the wrong thing, and now he should be made to stand those consequences.
Amen, Erica. You have people echoing your sentiment left and right.
When people, I just remember when he said he couldn't sweat. Do you remember that in the interview?
Yeah.
He's sweating now.
I know.
He's sweating now.
Well, we will have to follow this story. Coming up on DBL, a letter to parents of middle school girls about shapewear didn't go over so well. Why the school is now apologizing.
On January 7th, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky was interviewed by ABC's Good Morning America. Now, a quote from the discussion is being widely shared on social media, including a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. claiming 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities. So let's verify. Was CDC Director Rochelle Walensky referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities? Walensky was quoted responding to a question about whether COVID-19 vaccines are effective enough for us to start rethinking how we live with the virus. Journalist Cecilia Vega cited a CDC study when framing her question, but that was left out of the original broadcast. Walensky answered by citing a study of more than 1 million vaccinated people.
A study of 1.2 million people who were vaccinated between December and October and demonstrated that severe disease occurred in about 0.015% of the people who were received their primary series, and death in 0.003% of those people. The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities. So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
It showed only 1 in every 30,000 actually died, and of those, 75%, or 28 people, had at least 4 comorbidities. However, the broadcast cut off the first part of her answer, leaving the quote out of context. So it's false that CDC Director Rochelle Walensky was referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities. The interview was originally aired out of context, which led to misleading tweets. ABC has since released its entire interview with Walensky. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. So does shapewear help with body image issues? Well, a Mississippi middle school seemed to think so. Counselors at the school sent a letter home with their students that talked about body image issues among females. Now, at the bottom of the letter, parents were offered the option to sign to give their consent, allowing their daughters to receive healthy literature and shapewear clothing items. Now, their attempt to address girls' body image issues sparked outrage amongst the parents. The principal said the counselors had nothing but good intentions. The program has since been canceled. Tori, what are you thinking about all this? Because you always talk about shapewear on this show. And
yeah, I'm wearing it now. I'll be 100%. I'm wearing a squeam. It's really intense. It's like an old school corset, like with the blacksmith person. Like it's like that old
And does it make you feel better?
And it makes me feel 1,000% better. That being said, you might not have known I just turned 40 and I'm not 13.
Right.
And at 13, this is entirely inappropriate. And may I ask, did the boys get a letter saying if they are heavy, they get shapewear
They did
too?
not.
It's just so inane to me. It's almost silly that they thought this would cure or help instead of actually going into the brain and helping the mental aspect.
Erica?
That's absurd.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
It's absurd.
Like, I don't know whose good intentions came to this conclusion. Now, I think this is ridiculous, but that being said, I would have really appreciated during my preteen, teen years, someone to really explain to me like the appropriate undergarments to wear. That was always something that was like, and I mean like bras, like I didn't understand, you know, until I was much older, the appropriate bra to wear. That could have gone a very long way. Now, in terms of like what else is going on with my body and to put something like that on. Also, be aware that these are children and their bodies are developing.
Yeah,
so the idea of constricting their bodies in that way could definitely cause long-term consequences.
Al, how would you have felt? Because you have a teenage daughter. If you were sent home that letter, would you think, hey, they're trying to help her, or would it offend you as a parent?
I would, you know, my first thought is like I would be livid, but really I guess my first thought would just be confusion. Tori brought it up. Why aren't they talking to the boys as well? But a bigger side to it, I look at it like, so we're worried about physical, you know, how these young women are feeling about their physical appearance. So we give them something to physically suppress their physical appearance rather than going towards the psychological route and talking to them about that they are beautiful no matter how they look and no matter how they feel. Here's some tips to get healthier, to just feel as healthy as you possibly can. We are going to have this for the men and the women and however you identify. everybody, we're all going to get healthier and elevate our psychological IQ, rather than just saying, here, put this tight constricting outfit on so you don't feel as bad about yourself. I just don't see where they were going with that.
Yeah, I think they had good intent. I'll give them that credit. And apparently they did have literature to address the mental health aspect of it. However, their delivery and their
like if
rollout,
Sophie came home with
oh
this,
my gosh. I mean, you're
thought?
pretty much telling my daughter to hide her body.
Yeah.
You're pretty much saying your body needs to look this way. Now, I agree with you, Erica, that yes, later down the road, and that can be a conversation between a parent and or a caretaker and their child when it comes to like, hey mom, I want to feel better with this bra, or I want to, that in my opinion should be a conversation between that caretaker and that child. But the fact that this school also apparently did this in a way that was not in a blanket way, but also gave the kids the letters. So can you, and not all the kids got them. So you're already targeted, you're already singled out for, you already are insecure because you're going through puberty. And then you look in your bag and you see a letter to your parents saying,
crush me.
Yeah, we want to start wearing, we want your child to wear shapewear.
My shame would start that
Everybody
day.
didn't get one?
Not everybody.
No,
got
not
one.
everyone got one. Yeah, exactly, Erica. Wow. All right, coming up on DBL. Former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo is calling out a certain airline for telling her she better cover up. We'll tell you what happened. Plus, this Vogue cover has a lot of people talking. Do these models deserve better when it comes to highlighting their beautiful features?
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Kids. If you made a New Year's resolution, it's still probably too early to know if it's become an actual habit yet. For years, people have said that it takes 21 days to build a habit. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources for this question: Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor with Sun Counseling and Wellness, and a study on habit forming done by Philippa Laley. The thought that it takes 21 days to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study by Philippa Laley took 96 volunteers and investigated the process of forming a habit. The volunteers chose an eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded whether they carried out the behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some people longer and some people shorter to form a habit. Instead, Greco says there are a variety of reasons.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person, and it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not affect the habit formation process. Greco agrees.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify that no, it doesn't always take 21 days to form a habit. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The annual deadline for Americans to file their taxes is typically on or around April 15th. However, for the past 2 years, the IRS has pushed the tax filing deadline past April because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Amid the current surge of Omicron, it's clear that COVID-19 is still impacting a lot of people. So let's verify. Is the IRS pushing the tax deadline again this year? We went to these sources for an answer. In a January 10th press release about the tax filing season, the IRS confirmed this year's deadline is April 18th, and there's no indication that that will change. That date was also confirmed by TurboTax and CPA Practice Manager, a resource magazine for accounting and tax professionals. According to the IRS, April 18th is also the deadline for individuals to request an extension. If the extension request is granted, their new deadline would be October 17th. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiane Till.
Oh my goodness, our viewers are heated about the Mississippi story. So we have Mary Bennett. Mississippi is consistently in the top 10 least educated states. I think they need to put their focus somewhere else. Mary writes, OMG, do these people have nothing better to do? Leave our girls alone. Serena says, yes, it is too young. Your body is finding its shape on its own during those years. It is called puberty. Donnie says, the way they're doing this is totally wrong, but if you want to wear a shaper, I don't care if you're in junior high, as long as you're not forced to. And Carrie says, too young. Shame on this school. Looks like everyone's in agreement. That usually never happens in our comment section.
Sam, can I just say this really quickly? I went to college in Mississippi. There's a lot of good folks down there. One school doesn't speak for everyone.
I love that you said that, Al. It's important for all of us to know not to paint with a broad brush. Thank you for that. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Our interview with the fabulous Dorit Kemsley from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And speaking of the Real Housewives, did the ladies go too far with their outfits on the Salt Lake City reunion? We're going to talk all about that next.
Members mourn the deaths of those who died in a New York City apartment building. Fire investigators are still piecing together what happened. The fire department quickly focused on doors that were left open and launched a social media campaign about the dangers of open doors during fires.
And you can prevent that fire from spreading and harming others. Close the door.
So let's verify. Can a closed door help limit the spread of fire and smoke? Our sources are Jim Milkey, chair of the Department of Fire Protection Engineering at the University of Maryland, and U.S. Fire Administrator Dr. Lori Moore Merrow. Both tell Verify closed doors limit the supply of oxygen, which helps fuel fires.
What happens when we don't close doors is that the fire is allowed to feed on the air that it has.
A closed door can also limit how far smoke can travel. New York fire officials say smoke inhalation was the cause of death for all victims.
The fire didn't spread beyond the third floor, but the smoke did, and that was the culprit for the deaths.
It's not just entry doors that can help contain a fire. Firefighters are stressing the importance of closing bedroom doors while sleeping because it can help buy you and everyone else in your home time to escape.
It's giving you that additional time for either to get out an exterior window or for fire department folks to arrive.
So it's true. A closed door can help limit the spread of fire and smoke. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it. And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all just stop. Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Al and Erica joining us from home. So let's get right to it. Former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo was forced to cover up ahead of her American Airlines flight to Mexico. Her sister posted the whole ordeal on Instagram. Have a look and then we'll chat.
Olivia and I are going to Cabo, and look at her outfit. She looks cute. She looks appropriate. No, they call her up to the desk and tell her that she needs to put a blouse on, otherwise she can't get on the plane. Tell me, is that not so? American Airlines, I love you so much. Please get me to Cabo.
So let's take a look again at what Olivia was wearing. It looks like a sports bra and biking shorts. In another post, Olivia is seen covered up in her boyfriend's gray hoodie, while another passenger comes over to compare her similar outfit to Olivia's original look. Okay, so Tori, you were chiming in while this was playing. What were you saying? I couldn't even.
Well, I was thinking kind of, Courtney and I, my producer, we were both saying, like, would this really ever happen to a dude? Would it really ever happen to a man? And also, like, American Airlines has just got in trouble with this, and it just seems so wishy-washy. Like, what's the rule? Are we not supposed to have leggings? Are we? But at the same time, I just want to say, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable sitting next to someone in, like, a bra and underwear. So I also see the other side being like, that's super uncomfortable in a pandemic to show that much skin. Do I think we should be policing it? No, but I get the side that's uncomfortable with it.
Erica, what do you feel?
Yeah, I do agree with the part about there needs to be consistency if they're going to actually have a dress code that they're going to enforce. That being said, somebody at American Airlines was hating that day. Yeah. That's all it was. Because when you don't have consistency in what the dress code is, then you can just pick who you want it to apply to that day. And that day she picked Olivia, and or he picked Olivia, and that's what had happened.
What do you think, Al?
I mean, they say always to use the right word when you're trying to describe something, and Erica just did it. It was just hating. This was a personal decision. This isn't American Airlines. That's just a company. American Airlines is its employees, and this employee took a particular dislike, it seems like, to this woman because there was another woman there that seemed to be showing more skin than Olivia was. Either way, they need to arm their employees with a knowledge of what is acceptable and what is not. Is it the midriff? Does that apply for both genders? Because I believe every rule that they put should go for everybody, every gender, not just the two typical ones. So I will just say this. I think that American Airlines is doing themselves disservice and their employees a disservice by not giving them the tools to say, this is against the rules in our handbook, here's that rule, here's how you're in violation of that. It's just kind of up to a gate agent, and sometimes, like Erica said, they're hating.
But we don't know that. I'll play devil's advocate. We don't know if that gate agent was hating or not, because it does clearly violate their wardrobe, against their wardrobe rules. And that isn't
what's the clarity?
Like, why did the other person not get or asked
Well, the other person was wearing full pants, and you barely saw any midriff. So I do see a difference between the two outfits. Would I care? No. I think she looks beautiful. Both of them do. But it's not appropriate. It's not professional. Why do we always have to assume that that gate agent is hating when in reality maybe they're just doing their job? Because I do see a difference between Olivia's outfit and the other passenger's outfit.
Sam, what if it was a male and he had on one of those tank tops, but they're like the spaghetti string, you know, they're the ones that the really serious weightlifters wear, where it's almost not a shirt, it almost looks like it's being ripped off them. Would that be okay? It's covering up everything.
But I don't care. I don't. I promise you, I don't care. I'm trying to speak.
I don't think you do, Sam.
But
You're
I'm trying to
chill.
speak.
I'm
trying to present another side to that gate agent, because none of us know if that gate agent is doing their job or if they are hating. So I'm just presenting that other side, because we do not know. Fair. And if they're doing their job, why are they in trouble?
Fair.
Anyways. Okay.
I want Sam to be my manager. I love it.
I just watch Erica's face the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is Erica thinking? Okay, so speaking of questionable outfits, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are being slammed over their reunion gowns. Bravo gave a sneak peek at what the ladies will be wearing for the upcoming reunion special. Now, some fans were quick to judge the over-the-top looks. One person said the outfit might be the worst in Housewives history. Another said they were giving off millennial prom vibes. And another pointed out that Jen Shah's purple feathered gown looked like Cardi B's dress that she wore to the American Music Awards last year. But that was no accident. Jen said Cardi was actually her inspiration. Okay, so Erica, I gotta start with you because I know you watched this show too. What did you think, honestly, when you first saw all their looks?
Everyone looks on brand. I mean, that's what we watch the reunion for. We want to see who's going to be held accountable, who's going to show up, and we want to see what they're wearing. And everyone who we've shown today looks exactly the way that I would anticipated they would look.
But did you like it? Would Erica wear any of those looks?
I don't. Maybe a couple, but
let me help
it's
Erica
just
out. The only time that you would wear those is if you were going to a high school dance that you found out was just a sham and you just show up and it's just you there. Those outfits are terrible. But, and there's a comment in that sentence, I appreciate the effort. I love fashion. I love when people are fashion forward, and when you're fashion forward, you're gonna miss a lot, but that's important for the culture. I'm sure the first time somebody wore thigh-high boots or a choker or whatever, when the first time it looked crazy, but now it's normal because that's what fashion does. It pushes the envelope and backs up a little bit. So I think this was a huge miss, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, should I go?
Sure.
I feel like I don't want to say anything rude because you're right, style's subjective, but I subjectively didn't really like those outfits. But that's me, and I appreciate them showing up.
Yeah, and I agree with Erica here. I don't like the outfits personally, but this is exactly what I would expect for each of them to show up
Then
as.
it's perfect.
So it's perfectly on brand, good for them, they're owning it, it's them. Do you, boo? Okay, so a British...
Are the housewives there with you guys, Sam? Why are you guys giving answers like they're right off camera?
They're
like,
behind me,
I
Al.
don't...
No, it just is what it is. Let's move on.
I think if you watched it, Al, you would understand what Eric and I are saying. It's definitely them. You want people to be them. Embrace yourself. Okay, so a British Vogue cover featuring 9 African models is being criticized. So the cover was meant to celebrate the models, but some on social media called it offensive over the use of bad lighting and styling, which made the models appear darker. But others claim that the photo taken by a Brazilian photographer is art, and that he had used a similar style in his previous photographs, and this was all intentional. So last year, Vogue was criticized for its 2 covers featuring Vice President Kamala Harris, with many people saying that she looked washed out. And in 2020, the Simone Biles Vogue cover got some people upset because she was photographed by Annie Leibovitz and not a black photographer. Erica, I've actually been really wanting to talk to you about this because I've seen all over my social media people commending it and then other people criticizing it. I don't know where to go. I don't know which is right. What did you feel?
Well, I don't think we should conflate those 3 covers, but I will say that the February issue of British Vogue was done very intentionally. Was it intentional the way that the critics are suggesting that it is? No. You have to remember that this was a team of black and brown artists spanning and representing the globe who came together on this cover. Not only the cover, but the entire editorial piece. These same people are responsible for some of the most iconic people, places, and spaces that we celebrate in pop culture today. People are talking about the stylist, Yvette Noel, sure. Yvette Noel clearly had a prolific vision for the moment that the rise of the African model meets the February British Vogue, which is ushering in the new collection. They're talking about the photographer, Rafael Pavarotti. Rafael has been known and been called, basically his editorial work is talked about as the prism to evoke conversation on cultural and social issues. That means it's art. It's meant for us to talk about it. So I think that it is important that everyone's having a conversation about it. But on January 18th, I would really suggest that anyone who is truly invested in this conversation go to the newsstands and support, because if you want to have this conversation in a very nuanced and in a totality way, you need to see the entire spread. So I'm really anxious to see the whole thing. I think think that it was beautifully done. And I mean, Tori, you're an art history major. Like, what do you see, or what are some things that you feel about what you're seeing right now?
I completely agree with you that this to me is art. And if you go back to the picture, everything is so intentional. So to suggest this is washing out or bad lighting, look at the color of Vogue with the bench. Look at they all look like one unit.
Right.
Look like they look like a team. Look at the over the black makeup and the Asian hairdos in some of them. And then the way the light hits is so specific to get you a contour of their faces. So it looks like one face. It looks like one person. This is a really interesting conversation piece on what it means to be an African model, on what it means to be black in the industry. And it's not a forgetful, I forgot to put a light on. This is art. This is art.
That's great to hear. You're finally using your degree.
Oh, yeah, my mom's so happy.
There is more drama, Al, between Britney Spears and her sister Jamie Lynn. So, Al, this is what happened. Britney went on Twitter to slam her sister after her interview on GMA earlier this week. Now, she accused Jamie Lynn of selling her book at her expense. She went on to say that Jamie Lynn had everything given to her and never had to work for anything in her life. Jamie Lynn posted a lengthy response to her sister on Instagram. She said that it's become exhausting when the texts they have in private don't match what Britney posts on social. She said that Britney could tell the truth and put an end to all of it in 1 second if she wanted to, and that her family has gotten death threats over Britney's vague and accusatory posts. What do you think of the back and forth, Al?
I think it's sad, Sam. I think it's sad. I think that this family has unraveled long before either one of the sisters were famous, and now that they are, it's just happening in front of our eyes. I think this has been happening for decades. We've all seen Britney struggles from 2007 on up through present day, through 2022, and I just think it's sad. And it's hard. How do you comment, Sam, on something you don't know? I look at Britney, and I've had a lot of people close to me that have had issues with mental health, and a lot of Britney's posts, a lot of her statements have reminded me of them. But just like the people that are Team Britney, I don't know and they don't know. Only her doctor knows, and I hope this incredibly talented human being gets the help she deserves and doesn't just become fodder on the internet for people to go back and forth over. These are two people's lives, and especially somebody's life could be at stake here with Britney and her mental health. So I wish the best for her, but it makes me sad, Sam.
Do you wish the best for both of them? You said you wish the best for her.
For both of them. I mean, for this family that just needs incredible healing. The father seems to be completely out of the picture and ostracized for his behavior. The sisters seem to be on the outs with each other. Does this look like your family, Erica, Tori, Sam? Does this look like a family that laughs together, that hugs each other, that's had any loving, positive interactions in the last 10 years? Because it doesn't to me.
Yeah. All right, we're out of time. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Real Housewives star Dorit Kemsley, how she's healing from a terrifying home invasion.
Closed captioning provided by
Okay, so I wanted to hear, we ran out of time. First of all, you're art major. You're like, whoa, did you see how, like, her expertise came out like that? That was brilliant.
It was cool, right?
Yeah. What did you think about Britney and Jamie Lynn?
I have a very different take. I find Jamie Lynn, why are you going on Entertainment Tonight and you're going on GMA?
And why do you have a new book?
And why do you have a new book?
Wow.
And why are you, if you're like, there aren't two sides, there are two sides. Abuse has been alleged. Real abuse, physical, verbal abuse, conservatorship abuse,
And
IUD, lithium, and financial abuse. Exactly. So if you're gonna go on GMA and not mention any of that to support your sister or say that that's not what happened, you're only creating more of a mess. I have no idea why you're there, other than you're trying to get more money. And I know a lot of people think, oh, but what about her side? She said nothing. She could have said my sister was absolutely in a terrible position.
What if she felt
she was abused?
victimized by her parents?
Then don't go and go marry in America. Because what are you doing? You're creating noise. Now we just got noise.
She had to defend her name to a degree.
The problem is she's defending her name, which I understand, but looking bad by selling books at the same time.
Right,
the optics are so weird.
Yeah, I don't know if she's too a victim of their parents, because I've just heard personally some very horrible things about their parents, especially their father.
And I feel bad if that's true, of course. Right. But don't go on GMA then. right? If you're a real victim, or say something.
Right.
Back your sister or don't.
And don't sell the book right now.
And don't sell the
Have
book.
some like wherewithal to
Read
like,
that
put
room.
your personal whatever motivations
Dude.
aside for 6 months
Yeah.
and let things cool down. Instead, you're capitalizing off this fight between you and your sister.
Yeah, and you're making Team Britney look like they're right over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one thing that supports that she supports her sister, ever.
And I always found it really weird, Tori, that the parents who are always accused of being narcissists. Welcome back to DBL. She is one of the most fashionable housewives in Beverly Hills, but the past couple months have been far from glamorous for Dorit Kemsley. Earlier, we spoke with her about her recent home invasion. Take a look.
Dorit Kemsley, welcome to DBL.
Hello. Hi, Erica. Hi, Al. Happy to be here.
Hey, girl, we're happy to have you. Let's get started because 2021 was quite the year for you. You had some amazing accomplishments, including your fabulous bridal collection with Nectaria. But let's be honest, and I want to say this with a great deal of empathy. Your home invasion in October was absolutely earth-shattering. So how are you doing as we kick off 2022?
Well, I can tell you I am doing better and better every day. Thank goodness. You know, it's a life-changing experience to go through something like that, but I am very fortunate, you know, the outcome. I'm here today. My children are okay. They're safe. They're healthy. They're well. And still to this day, you know, they don't know about it. So the rest, Mommy can do, one day at a time.
It's a great way to look at it. I mean, traumatic experiences remind us all that this experience of life is just short. So have these last few months that have been obviously traumatic had you wanting to mend any broken relationships as you move forward because you don't know what happens day to day?
So true, Al. And I think that, you know, generally speaking, you'd probably, you know, consider those things. I think for me, it was really about focusing on family and really finding ways to navigate the new me because I was a changed person. I'm not going to lie. You know, I jumped right back into filming, and I did so because of the outcome, you know, and for my children, when they woke up the next day, it was just a normal day for them. And it was very important to me that, you know, I continue to give that to them. So you'll see a lot of what I went through and am going through on the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But, you know, for me, the last couple of months, and it's only been a short couple of months, 2 or 3 months, it's been, the focus is mostly on the family and then myself. But I don't have any enemies, Al, so I don't have any, you know, friendships I need to mend.
I'm happy to hear that. Let me get into another person I'm going to put on the hot seat because that's Andy Cohen. Now, Andy Cohen was recently asked about the most iconic housewife fashion-wise. My immediate thought was, of course, it's Dorit, but he said Erica Jane. So what is your response to that?
I mean, if that's his opinion, that's his opinion. You know, I think Erica, she's very fashionable. You know, she's synonymous with it. She puts a lot of effort into her looks. You know, I applaud her, and I think she's fantastic. So, you know, it's not a competition. I think that, you know, to each their own, and you know, I'll give him when I see him again.
I like how she said it's not a competition.
No
Girl, we all
apologies
know it's a
needed.
competition. Come on now.
Absolutely. Now you need to talk to me because I'm the father of 3. You have 2 little ones. So tell us how Amazon Glow is helping your family stay connected this new year because I need to know along with other fellow parents.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, this is going to change your life and your little one's life. Amazon Glow, it's an interactive projector and video calling device, and it allows you to stay connected to extended family or loved ones. And it allows my kids to draw and play and do puzzles and interact with loved ones that aren't in the room or in the state. But as a parent, Al, you should be on that right when we get off this call.
I'm excited. I will purchase one soon.
Yeah, you need it. I just want to thank you for joining our show. And to our viewers, check out amazon.com/glow to get yours today. Dorit, it has been an honor and a pleasure, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year.
All right,
Happy New Year. We'll be right back.
We all know that.
On January 7th, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky was interviewed by ABC's Good Morning America. Now, a quote from the discussion is being widely shared on social media, including a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. claiming 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities. So, let's verify. Was CDC Director Rochelle Walensky referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities? Walensky was quoted responding to a question about whether COVID-19 vaccines are effective enough for us to start rethinking how we live with the virus. Journalist Cecilia Vega cited a CDC study when framing her question, but that was left out of the original broadcast. Walensky answered by citing a study of more than 1 million vaccinated people.
A study of 1.2 million people who were vaccinated between December and October and demonstrated that severe disease occurred in about 0.015% of the people who were received their primary series, and death in 0.003% of those people. The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities. So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
It showed only 1 in every 30,000 actually died, and of those, 75%, or 28 people, had at least 4 comorbidities. However, the broadcast cut off the first part of her answer, leaving the quote out of context. So, it's false that CDC Director Rochelle Walensky was referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities. The interview was originally aired out of context, which led to misleading tweets. ABC has since released its entire interview with Walensky. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. If you're looking to change up your space this year, listen up. It's time for some DBL home hacks presented by American Home Shield. All right, we all know paint is messy. Instead, try to peel and stick wallpaper. It's a great way to spice up a space, and you can change it when you're over it. It's actually quite easy. Next, by peel and stick art prints to avoid putting nail holes in the wall. I had no idea. That's awesome. And lastly, hang curtains without leaving any marks from hooks or nails. Instead, just use a tension rod. A home warranty plan from American Home Shield helps cover many things homeowner insurance leaves out. You can rest easy knowing you're ready for whatever breaks down, inevitably what strikes next. Visit ahs.com to find a plan that'll be right for you. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
New Year's resolution, it's still probably too early to know if it's become an actual habit yet. For years, people have said that it takes 21 days to build a habit. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources for this question: Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor with Sun Counseling and Wellness, and a study on habit forming done by Philippa Laley. The thought that it takes 21 days to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study by Philippa Laley took 96 volunteers and investigated the process of forming a habit. The volunteers chose an eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded whether they carried out the behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some people longer and some people shorter to form a habit. Instead, Greco says there are a variety of reasons.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person. And it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not affect the habit formation process. Greco agrees.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify that no, it doesn't always take 21 days to form a habit. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The annual deadline for Americans to file their taxes is typically on or around April 15th. However, for the past 2 years, the IRS has pushed the tax filing deadline past April because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Amid the current surge of Omicron, it's clear that COVID-19 is still impacting a lot of people. So let's verify. Is the IRS pushing the tax deadline again this year? We went to these sources for an answer. In a January 10th press release about the tax filing season, the IRS confirmed this year's deadline is April 18th, and there's no indication that that will change. That date was also confirmed by TurboTax and CPA Practice Manager, a resource magazine for accounting and tax professionals. According to the IRS, April 18th is also the deadline for individuals to request an extension. If the extension request is granted, their new deadline would be October 17th. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. I do want to show really quickly, we did not get to put up the AHS.com. There it is, the graphic. Go visit them. Okay, Erica, you have something to say, right?
Yeah, we were talking about British Vogue, right. And it was a repost that I was reading from Yvette Noel Schur. It was from Edward Innenful, so I just wanted to make that correction in case anyone's like, what's this girl talking about?
Thank you for that clarification, Erica.
Give credit where credit's due.
Everybody has a wonderful weekend. We love you guys. DBL's new every day. We'll see you all Monday, same time, same place. Bye, Erica. Bye, Al.
Family members mourn the deaths of those who died in a New York City apartment building. Fire investigators are still piecing together what happened. The fire department quickly focused on doors that were left open and launched a social media campaign about the dangers of open doors during fires.
And you can prevent that fire from spreading and harming others. Close the door.
So let's verify. Can a closed door help limit the spread of fire and smoke? Our sources are Jim Milkey, chair of the Department of Fire Protection Engineering at the University of Maryland, and U.S. Fire Administrator Dr. Lori Moore Merrow. Both tell Verify closed doors limit the supply of oxygen, which helps fuel fires.
What happens when we don't close doors is that the fire is allowed to feed on the air that it has.
A closed door can also limit how far smoke can travel. New York fire officials say smoke inhalation was the cause of death for all victims.
The fire didn't spread beyond the third floor, but the smoke did, and that was the culprit for the deaths.
It's not just entry doors that can help contain a fire. Firefighters are stressing the importance of closing bedroom doors while sleeping because it can help buy you and everyone else in your home time to escape.
It's giving you that additional time for either to get out an exterior window or for fire department folks to arrive.
So it's true. A closed door can help limit the spread of fire and smoke. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Is Omicron peaking? Our medical expert is here to talk about when cases could fall. Plus, how long can you wear your KN95 mask? Shapewear for middle school girls? Why a letter sent home had parents outraged. A former Miss Universe gets kicked off a plane for wearing something too revealing. Should she have to cover up? And our interview with Real Housewives star Dorit Kemsley, how she's healing after a terrifying home invasion. Plus, her message for Andy Cohen.
I'll give him when I see him again.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it through the week, Tori.
We did Friday.
Okay. All right. Erica and Dr. Coley joining us from home. Hello, ladies. Great to see you both. Today, we're going to actually start with some good news. Good. Maybe. We're almost there. New virus cases have begun to slow in several U.S. cities where Omicron first hit. Thank goodness. But Dr. Coley, does this mean that we've hit peak Omicron, and do you think that we'll start to see cases going back down, please?
Ladies, happy Friday, and Friday brings us good news. So in fact, yes, many medical experts are saying that countries like the UK, South Africa may have already crossed their peak. We are not yet at our peak nationally, but there are cities that are starting to see cases go down or seeing the rate of growth go down. So I think we're really, really, really close. We just have to wait for it.
Thank goodness. Yeah, thank you for that.
You say, wait, I need like a timeline. Is this happening like next week? Is it going to be a month? Are we all getting Omicron? Does that mean that this peak means that it's like, for real this time?
No, great question, Erica. So girl, you have to wait about 2 to 4 weeks is what I would say. Do not get Omicron in the meantime if you can avoid it. I know you've just recovered and thankfully looking beautiful and doing well. But for the rest of us, do not get it if you don't have to, because it is possible that you could avoid it as the number of cases starts to go down. So I love to use a snow analogy because I love the winter and I love snow. But basically, we were in the thick of the snowstorm. It was really, really, really snowing out there. And now the rate of snowing has gone down, but we're not quite ready to leave our house yet. We got to wait till tomorrow morning when the sun comes out, and then we can dig out from the snow.
Here comes the sun. Thank you for that. It was beautiful. I do want to talk about this. It's really, really bugging me out. But yesterday, the Supreme Court, if you didn't know, blocked the president's vaccine mandate for large businesses. They did allow it for healthcare workers. So, Dr. Coley, from a very specific medical perspective, I just wanted to know what you thought of the decision.
Well, guys, I have to say the medical part makes a ton of sense. I mean, that's brilliant, right? When you go to the hospital for your stroke or your cancer treatment or your heart attack, the last thing you want to do is to catch COVID from someone on your healthcare team who may not know that they're infected. And I've personally seen that happen to a number of patients. So I'm thrilled that this is happening on a system-wide level. But it really upsets me. Actually, I'm frankly angry, and I really just don't understand the logic behind not applying the same science to a large employer organization with over 100 employees where we know that COVID spreads from person to person. So how in the world does it make any sense to say, oh yeah, it's good for hospitals to do that, but not for other workplaces? And I think all they've done is made our lives more difficult. And I'm really upset about it. But how do you guys feel? Do you think that this is a reasonable thing to do, or?
I think it will prolong the virus. It will just continue to prolong the virus, and I just want anything to hasten the end of the virus, simply put.
I'm exactly with Tori. What about you, Erica?
But Tori, you're all about
No, go ahead, Dr. Coley.
I was just going to say, Tori is all about legal rights and making sure we're protecting people's legal rights. Do you think we're violating their rights by asking them to get vaccines? And Erica, I want your opinion as well.
Not only is there precedent from 1905, Jackson versus Massachusetts, that already said no, we already have this with polio, diphtheria, going yellow fever if you have to go across. Vaccine mandates are ruled constitutional. It has been long in our histories past. George Washington inoculated his group of people and his soldiers with smallpox inoculation and quarantined people. So I find it completely inane, just like you said. Sorry, little outburst.
No, well, thank you for that history lesson. It's wonderful.
Sorry. Oh.
Facts.
Exactly. So then I want
you know what? I should have copied off of Tori on my history test, because history was not my thing. I'm a science person.
I doubt that, Dr. Coley. I'm sure you had A pluses in every subject.
I did too.
But what effect do you think, Dr. Coley, it would have had on the pandemic if they did indeed allow the vaccine mandate to go through?
A huge effect, guys. You've already seen the effect of the vaccines in just one short year, getting our lives back to normal, making it less severe. As Tori said, not only would it have shortened the duration of this pain that we're all having to go through with the masks and the mitigation measures, but I actually believe that this decision has cost human lives. Because for every million cases that you have of the infection, you're going to have some percentage end up like our poor Eric, end up losing their lives, end up in the ICU, end up with long-term disability. And this sort of what I think is a bit of a callous decision, and definitely not scientifically supported, is going to pay the price of human lives.
Wow. Wow. Well said, Dr. Coley. Okay, we always want to involve our viewers, and a lot of our viewers are asking, what type of mask is the best mask for Omicron specifically? Is it time to ditch that cloth and paper mask? And also, another viewer asked the difference between the N95 and the KN95 masks.
Yeah, so definitely get rid of those cloth masks. I don't want to see any of them on any of your pretty faces from now on. So the least you can do is the surgical mask, but as you know, it's thin and it's loose fitting. So this is the bare minimum. And this is what I might use if I'm walking around outside in the park, for example. But if I'm going inside a grocery store, I'm going to get the KN95, which is thicker, and it has a material that actually has better filtration capacity, and it fits tighter to my face. Easier to wear because it goes around the year. But the best mask, the Tesla of the masks that I like to call it, is the N95. This is what doctors wear when they go in to see patients that have tuberculosis, for example.
Yeah.
Because not only is it thicker, the shape of it actually makes sure that it kind of protects your nose and your mouth. It's got straps that fit around your head, so it's really nice tight fit, and it has little particles in it that are charged with electrostatic properties that actually trap virus particles. Wow. So I wear this when I see patients, and this is the best one in terms of protection.
Good to know.
I should have cheated on her for science.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about the KN95 masks, because people don't know how long they should be wearing them before they throw them out, and are they washable?
Yeah, so we've been saying single use only, but I know that that's not particularly practical, especially because they can get expensive. If you're wearing an N95, it can be a couple of dollars. So what I like to do, guys, is to put it on the inside and then put, surgical mask on top that I can sort of throw out every day. And so I'm not bringing in a dirty surgical mask and putting it back on my face. But you can't wash them. You cannot wash them because it's going to degrade the material, affect the properties, and affect the fit. So what I would say is wear it maybe 4 or 5 times up to a week, depending on whether or not you think it starts to feel a little funky to you at some point, or the elastic's getting a little too stretched or whatever. But don't wear it longer than that, because you're going to start to lose some of the protective benefits.
Great information. Before we let you go, Dr. Coley, I saw this new study, and I have to ask you about it. It found that women are 32% more likely to die after an operation if their surgeon is male. Can you tell me more about this, and what should some of our women viewers right now do when picking their doctors?
So, I want to give you my perspective as a woman, and then I want to give you my perspective as a physician. So this is an observational study where we looked at observed just how people do with what type of patient gender and what type of physician gender. And what we found is when there's a discordance between the patient specifically being female and the doctor being male, they might do a little worse. But to me, guys, this doesn't tell me as a physician that are less experts, are more inefficient at what they do, or they're not doing their job right. What it tells me is that, and reminds me is that the connection to the patient is probably one of the most important things in terms of determining their outcome. So I feel like this is more a reflection of how connected the patient feels to the physician, how comfortable they're asking questions. And as a female cardiologist, I often get women coming to me and saying, I want another woman, because women understand women a little better. But how do you guys react to this? Do you think it'll affect the gender of the doctor that you might pick?
I just naturally gravitate towards female doctors. That's just me. Erica, go ahead. Sorry.
Me too.
I think that the same logic can be applied even for race.
Yes,
you know, I mean, we've been
I
having
agree.
this conversation about
Maternity.
the disparity in healthcare, and I think that this is just another layer of that same conversation.
Well said, Erica. Dr. Coley, thank you.
It's so true.
We appreciate Dr. Coley. Have a great weekend. I hope you're not working, but you probably are. If you guys have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. Thank you again, Dr. Coley. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey guys, want to read a little bit of few of what you guys are saying. I appreciate you, appreciate me, appreciating you when I get on the call. You know what I mean on this thing? So thank you. Stewie Griffin, which by the way, great name. He always mentions every word and every word is in uppercase. I don't know how he does it, but he wrote, "Listen to doctors, they will save your life." And I thought, you know what? I'm going to say that out loud because somebody out there might need to hear it. Somebody says, and you know what I love about you guys is someone's like, I hope you're feeling well in the chat. The chat has become a little bit of like a COVID platform for me, like a social platform. I don't know if it's become that for you guys, but it's a place I go consistently and routinely to voice my opinions and know that I won't get hurt. And if someone is going to be there and a keyboard warrior, what do, Tiffany? We kick them out. We kick them out. We kick them out. But I just want to say it's lovely to have a safe space. And I think a lot of you wrote me yesterday on my birthday and said that it has been that way for you. So I really appreciate YouTube and all of that. Also, Al says I look like Pretty Woman.
Brian says you look like Pebbles Flintstone.
Pebbles Flintstone on the street, a pretty woman. The kind I'd like to reach, pretty woman. Yeah, I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? That's Roy Orbison, everyone. Thank you. Now, if you go to Hollywood on, is it Las Palmas Street? You can see the apartment that Richard Gere pulled up to and then climbed that little ladder and where she's perched. I think it's Las Palmas. I used to live right there. And he says, what happens when he rescues the princess? And she says, she'll rescue him right back.
Yes.
Ah! What a line!
And wasn't she just a baby, like 20 or 21?
Very young. Remember the Sharpie? When it was black Sharpie, when it was all...
Off a lot more mature. Very much.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Al is here joining us from home. Hi, Al. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday.
Thank you. Well, we got some big news from across the pond, and it's bad for the royal family, especially Prince Andrew. He has been forced to give up his military titles as well as all of his royal duties supporting charities. And this is all because a federal judge in New York has allowed the sexual abuse case against him to move forward. Now he'll have to face the lawsuit as a private citizen. Virginia Giuffre has accused him of raping her when she was a teenager. She reacted to the news. Her case will move forward, saying, quote, "My goal has always been to show the rich and the powerful that they are not above the law and must be held accountable." Okay, so Al, here's the thing. When they made that determination, it's because they feel they have enough evidence to prosecute him. So again, we try on the show not to speculate. We treat you innocent until proven guilty, but knowing that DA feels they have enough evidence, to me, there's a lot of fire there.
Well, I mean, the DA aside, I think the royal family thinks that there's enough evidence because they are really just kind of offering him up as a sacrifice. Like, look, we both agree that this person has done something that was not okay and they need to be punished. I mean, before this, I think that this would have been stonewalled by the royal family, but the fact that they are so publicly stripping him of his status, I think is a big indicator that he's in some trouble, as he should be if he is guilty of these crimes.
I'm glad it just reached royalty. I'm just glad it got to where it needed to go. I will say this, there's the Platinum Jubilee for the Queen. She's the longest reigning monarch in history, British history. Coming up on February 6th, where everyone throws pudding parties and they celebrate the Queen. And I wonder if the visuals and optics needed this to happen before February 6th.
That's interesting. Erica, what are you thinking about all this? And this is a civil case. I just want to say not criminal. This is civil, but still, if we can get some justice.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I think Prince Andrew is just another member of the Lucky Conception Club who used his power and all of his privilege to abuse and do predatory behavior against young women. And it's absolutely appropriate for him to be standing up for himself civilly as a private citizen, because he's just another dude who, for all practical purposes, did the wrong thing, and now he should be made to stand those consequences.
Amen, Erica. You have people echoing your sentiment left and right.
When people, I just remember when he said he couldn't sweat. Do you remember that in the interview?
Yeah.
He's sweating now.
I know.
He's sweating now.
Well, we will have to follow this story. Coming up on DBL, a letter to parents of middle school girls about shapewear. Didn't go over so well. Why the school is now apologizing.
On January 7th, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky was interviewed by ABC's Good Morning America. Now, a quote from the discussion is being widely shared on social media, including a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. claiming 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities. So let's verify. Was CDC Director Rochelle Walensky referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities? Walensky was quoted responding to a question about whether COVID-19 vaccines are effective enough for us to start rethinking how we live with the virus. Journalist Cecilia Vega cited a CDC study when framing her question, but that was left out of the original broadcast. Walensky answered by citing a study of more than 1 million vaccinated people.
A study of 1.2 million people who were vaccinated between December and October, and demonstrated that severe disease occurred in about 0.015% of the people who were received their primary series, and death in 0.003% of those people. The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities. So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
It showed only 1 in every 30,000 actually died, and of those, 75%, or 28 people, had at least 4 comorbidities. However, the broadcast cut off the first part of her answer, leaving the quote out of context. So it's false that CDC Director Rochelle Walensky was referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities. The interview was originally aired out of context, which led to misleading tweets. ABC has since released its entire interview with Walensky. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. So does shapewear help with body image issues? Well, a Mississippi middle school seemed to think so. Counselors at the school sent a letter home with their students that talked about body image issues among females. Now, at the bottom of the letter, parents were offered the option to sign to give their consent, allowing their daughters to receive healthy literature and shapewear clothing items. Now, their attempt to address girls' body image issues sparked outrage amongst the parents. The principal said the counselors had nothing but good intentions. The program has since been canceled. Tori, what are you thinking about all this? Because you always talk about shapewear on this show. And
yeah,
I
I'm
love
wearing
your
it now.
transparency.
I'll be 100%. I'm wearing a squeam. It's really intense. It's like an old school corset, like with a blacksmith person. Like it's like that old
And does it
school.
make you feel better?
And it makes me feel 1,000% better. That being said, you might not have known I just turned 40 and I'm not 13.
Right.
And at 13, this is entirely inappropriate. And may I ask, did the boys get a letter saying if they are heavy, they get shapewear
They did
too?
not.
It's just so inane to me. It's almost silly that they thought this would cure or help instead of actually going into the brain and helping the mental aspect.
Erica?
That's absurd.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
It's absurd.
Like, I don't know whose good intentions came to this conclusion. Now, I think this is ridiculous, but that being said, I would have really appreciated during my preteen, teen years, someone to really explain to me like the appropriate undergarments to wear. That was always something that was like, and I mean like bras, like I didn't understand, you know, until I was much older, the appropriate bra to wear. That could have gone a very long way. Now, in terms of like what else is going on with my body and to put something like that on. Also, be aware that these are children and their bodies are developing.
Yeah,
so the idea of constricting their bodies in that way could definitely cause long-term consequences.
Al, how would you have felt, because you have a teenage daughter, if you were sent home that letter? Would you think, hey, they're trying to help her, or would it offend you as a parent?
I would, you know, my first thought is like I would be livid, but really I guess my first thought would just be confusion. Tori brought it up. A, why aren't they talking to the boys as well? But a bigger side to it, I look at it like, so we're worried about physical, you know, how these young women are feeling about their physical appearance. So we give them something to physically suppress their physical appearance rather than going towards the psychological route and talking to them about that they are beautiful no matter how they look and no matter how they feel. Here's some tips to get healthier, to just feel as healthy as you possibly can. We are going to have this for the men and the women and however you identify. Everybody, we're all going to get healthier and elevate our psychological IQ rather than just saying, here, put this tight constricting outfit on so you don't feel as bad about yourself. I just don't see where they were going with that.
Yeah, I think they had good intent. I'll give them that credit. And apparently they did have literature to address the mental health aspect of it. However, their delivery and their
like if Sophie came home with
oh
this,
my gosh. I mean, you're pretty much telling my daughter to hide her body.
Yeah.
You're pretty much saying your body needs to look this way. Now, I agree with you, Erica, that yes, later down the road, and that can be a conversation between a parent and or a caretaker and their child when it comes to like, hey mom, I want to feel better with this bra, or I want to, that in my opinion should be a conversation between that caretaker and that child. But the fact that this school also apparently did this in a way that was not in a blanket way, but also gave the kids the letters. So can you, and not all the kids got them. So you're already targeted, you're already singled out for, you already are insecure because you're going through puberty. And then you look in your bag and you see a letter to your parents saying,
crush me.
Yeah, we want to start wearing, we want your child to wear shapewear.
My shame would start that day.
Everybody didn't get one?
Not everybody.
No, not everyone got one. Yeah, exactly, Erica. Wow. All right, coming up on DBL. Former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo is calling out a certain airline for telling her she better cover up. We'll tell you what happened. Plus, this Vogue cover has a lot of people talking. Do these models deserve better when it comes to highlighting their beautiful features?
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Kids. If you made a New Year's resolution, it's still probably too early to know if it's become an actual habit yet. For years, people have said that it takes 21 days to build a habit. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources for this question: Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor with Sun Counseling and Wellness, and a study on habit forming done by Philippa Laley. The thought that it takes 21 days to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study by Philippa Laley took 96 volunteers and investigated the process of forming a habit. The volunteers chose an eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded whether they carried out the behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some people longer and some people shorter to form a habit. Instead, Greco says there are a variety of reasons.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person, and it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not affect the habit formation process. Greco agrees.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify that no, it doesn't always take 21 days to form a habit. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The annual deadline for Americans to file their taxes is typically on or around April 15th. However, for the past 2 years, the IRS has pushed the tax filing deadline past April because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Amid the current surge of Omicron, it's clear that COVID-19 is still impacting a lot of people. So let's verify. Is the IRS pushing the tax deadline again this year? We went to these sources for an answer. In a January 10th press release about the tax filing season, the IRS confirmed this year's deadline is April 18th, and there's no indication that that will change. That date was also confirmed by TurboTax and CPA Practice Manager, a resource magazine for accounting and tax professionals. According to the IRS, April 18th is also the deadline for individuals to request an extension. If the extension request is granted, their new deadline would be October 17th. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiane Till.
Oh my goodness, our viewers are heated about the Mississippi story. So we have Mary Bennett. Mississippi is consistently in the top 10 least educated states. I think they need to put their focus somewhere else. Mary writes, OMG, do these people have nothing better to do? Leave our girls alone. Serena says, yes, it is too young. Your body is finding its shape on its own during those years. It is called puberty. Donnie says the way they're doing this is totally wrong, but if you want to wear a shaper, I don't care if you're in junior high as long as you're not forced to. And Carrie says, too young. Shame on this school. Looks like everyone's in agreement. That usually never happens in our comment section.
Sam, can I just say this really quickly? I went to college in Mississippi. There's a lot of good folks down there. One school doesn't speak for everyone.
I love that you said that, Al. It's important for all of us to know not to paint with a broad brush. Thank you for that. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Our interview with the fabulous Dorit Kemsley from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And speaking of the Real Housewives, did the ladies go too far with their outfits on the Salt Lake City reunion? We're going to talk all about that next.
Members mourn the deaths of those who died in a New York City apartment building. Fire investigators are still piecing together what happened. The fire department quickly focused on doors that were left open and launched a social media campaign about the dangers of open doors during fires.
And you can prevent that fire from spreading and harming others. Close the door.
So let's verify. Can a closed door help limit the spread of fire and smoke? Our sources are Jim Milkey, Chair of the Department of Fire Protection Engineering at the University of Maryland, and U.S. Fire Administrator Dr. Lori Moore Merrow. Both tell Verify closed doors limit the supply of oxygen, which helps fuel fires.
happens when we don't close doors is that the fire is a loud feed on the air that it has.
A closed door can also limit how far smoke can travel. New York fire officials say smoke inhalation was the cause of death for all victims.
The fire didn't spread beyond the 3rd floor, but the smoke did, and that was the culprit for the deaths.
It's not just entry doors that can help contain a fire. Firefighters are stressing the importance of closing bedroom doors while sleeping because it can help buy you and everyone else in your home time to escape.
It's giving you that additional time for either to get out an exterior window or for fire department folks to arrive.
So it's true. A closed door can help limit the spread of fire and smoke. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Y'all just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Al and Erica joining us from home. So let's get right to it. Former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo was forced to cover up ahead of her American Airlines flight to Mexico. Her sister posted the whole ordeal on Instagram. Have a look and then we'll chat.
Olivia and I are going to Cabo, and look at her outfit. She looks cute. She looks appropriate. No, they call her up to the desk and tell her that she needs to put a blouse on, otherwise she can't get on the plane. Tell me, is that not so up? American Airlines, I love you so much. Please get me to Cabo.
So let's take a look again at what Olivia was wearing. It looks like a sports bra and biking shorts. In another post, Olivia is seen covered up in her boyfriend's gray hoodie, while another passenger comes over to compare her similar outfit to Olivia's original look. Okay, so Tori, you were chiming in while this was playing. What were you saying? I couldn't even...
Well, I was thinking kind of, Courtney and I, my producer, we were both saying, like, would this really ever happen to a dude? Would it really ever happen to a man? And also, like, American Airlines has just got in trouble with this, and it just seems so wishy-washy. Like, what's the rule? Are we not supposed to have leggings? Are we? But at the same time, I just want to say, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable sitting next to someone in, like, a bra and underwear. So I also see the other side being like, that's super uncomfortable in a pandemic to show that much skin. Do I think we should be policing it? No, but I get the side that's uncomfortable with it.
Erica, what do you feel?
Yeah, I do agree with the part about there needs to be consistency if they're going to actually have a dress code that they're going to enforce. That being said, somebody at American Airlines was hating that day. Yeah. That's all it was. Because when you don't have consistency in what the dress code is, then you can just pick who you want it to apply to that day. And that day she picked Olivia, and or he picked Olivia, and that's what had happened.
What do you think, Al?
I mean, they say always to use the right word when you're trying to describe something, and Erica just did it. It was just hating. This was a personal decision. This isn't American Airlines. That's just a company. American Airlines is its employees, and this employee took a particular dislike, it seems like, to this woman because there was another woman there that seemed to be showing more skin than Olivia was. Either way, they need to arm their employees with a knowledge of what is acceptable and what is not. Is it the midriff? Does that apply for both genders? Because I believe every rule that they put should go for everybody, every gender, not just the two typical ones. So I will just say this. I think that American Airlines is doing themselves disservice and their employees a disservice by not giving them the tools to say, this is against the rules in our handbook, here's that rule, here's how you're in violation of that. It's just kind of up to a gate agent, and sometimes, like Erica said, they're hating.
But we don't know that. I'll play devil's advocate. We don't know if that gate agent was hating or not, because it does clearly violate their wardrobe, against their wardrobe rules. And that isn't
But what's the clarity?
Like, why did the other person not get asked to cover up?
Well, the other person was wearing full pants, and you barely saw any midriff. So I do see a difference between the two outfits. Would I care? No. I think she looks beautiful. Both of them do. But it's not appropriate. It's not professional. Why do we always have to assume that that gate agent is hating when in reality maybe they're just doing their job? Because I do see a difference between Olivia's outfit and the other passenger's outfit.
Sam, what if it was a male and he had on one of those tank tops, but they're like the spaghetti string, you know, they're the ones that the really serious weightlifters wear, where it's almost not a shirt, it almost looks like it's being ripped off them. Would that be okay? It's covering up everything.
But I don't care. I don't. I promise you, I don't care. I'm trying to speak.
I don't think you do, Sam.
But
You're
I'm trying
very
to speak.
chill.
I'm trying to present another side to that gate agent, because none of us know if that gate agent is doing their job or if they are hating. So I'm just presenting that other side, because we do not know. Fair. And if they're doing their job, why are they in trouble?
Fair.
Anyways. Okay.
I want Sam to be my manager. I love it.
I just watch Erica's face the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is Erica thinking? Okay, so speaking of questionable outfits, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are being slammed over their reunion gowns. Bravo gave a sneak peek at what the ladies will be wearing for the upcoming reunion special. Now, some fans were quick to judge the over-the-top looks. One person said the outfit might be the worst in Housewives history. Another said they were giving off millennial prom vibes. And another pointed out that Jen Shah's purple feathered gown looked like Cardi B's dress that she wore to the American Music Awards last year. But that was no accident. Jen said Cardi was actually her inspiration. Okay, so Erica, I gotta start with you, because I know you watched this show too. What did you think, honestly, when you first saw all their looks?
Everyone looks on brand. I mean, that's what we watch the reunion for. We want to see who's going to be held accountable, who's going to show up, and we want to see what they're wearing. And everyone who we've shown today looks exactly the way that I would anticipated they would look.
But did you like it? Would Erica wear any of those looks?
Maybe a couple, but
let me help
it's
Erica
just
out. The only time that you would wear those is if you were going to a high school dance that you found out was just a sham, and you just show up and it's just you there. Those outfits are terrible. But, and there's a comment in that sentence, I appreciate the effort. I love fashion. I love when people are fashion forward, and when you're fashion forward, you're gonna miss a lot, but that's important for the culture. I'm sure the first time somebody wore thigh-high boots or a choker or whatever, when the first time it looked crazy, but now it's normal, because that's what fashion does. It pushes the envelope and backs up a little bit. So I think this was a huge miss, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, should I go?
Sure.
I feel like I don't want to say anything rude, because you're right, style's subjective, but I subjectively didn't really like those outfits. But that's me, and I appreciate them showing up.
Yeah, and I agree with Erica here. I don't like the outfits personally, but this is exactly what I would expect for each of them to show up.
Then it's perfect.
So it's perfectly on brand, good for them, they're owning it, it's them. Do you, boo? Okay, so a British...
Are the housewives there with you guys, Sam? Why are you guys giving answers like they're right off camera?
They're
like,
behind me,
I don't...
no, it just is what it is. Let's move on.
I think if you watched it out, you would understand what Eric and I are saying. It's definitely them. You want people to be them. Embrace yourself. Okay, so a British Vogue cover featuring 9 African models is being criticized. So the cover was meant to celebrate the models, but some on social media called it offensive over the use of bad lighting and styling, which made the models appear darker. But others claim that the photo taken by a Brazilian photographer is art, and that he had used a similar style in his previous photographs, and this was all intentional. So last year, Vogue was criticized for its 2 covers featuring Vice President Kamala Harris, with many people saying that she looked washed out. And in 2020, the Simone Biles Vogue cover got some people upset because she was photographed by Annie Leibovitz and not a black photographer. Eric, I've actually been really wanting to talk to you about this, because I've seen all over my social media people commending it and then other people criticizing it. I don't know where to go. I don't know which is right. What did you feel?
Well, I don't think we should conflate those 3 covers, but I will say that the February issue of British Vogue was done very intentionally. Was it intentional the way that the critics are suggesting that it is? No. You have to remember that this was a team of black and brown artists spanning and representing the globe who came together on this cover. Not only the cover, but the entire editorial piece. These same people are responsible for some of the most iconic people, places, and spaces that we celebrate in pop culture today. People are talking about the stylist, Yvette Noel, sure. Yvette Noel clearly had a prolific vision for the moment that the rise of the African model meets the February British Vogue, which is ushering in the new collection. They're talking about the photographer, Rafael Pavarotti. Rafael has been known and been called, basically his editorial work is talked about as the prism to evoke conversation on cultural and social issues. That means it's art. It's meant for us to talk about it. So I think that it is important that everyone's having a conversation about it. But on January 18th, I would really suggest that anyone who is truly invested in this conversation go to the newsstands and support, because if you want to have this conversation in a very nuanced and in a totality way, you need to see the entire spread. So I'm really anxious to see the whole thing. I think that it was beautifully done. And I mean, Tori, you're an art history major. Like, what do you see, or what are some things that you feel about what you're seeing right now?
I completely agree with you that this to me is art. And if you go back to the picture, everything is so intentional. So to just suggest this is washing out or bad lighting, look at the color of Vogue with the bench. Look at they all look like one unit. Look like they look like a team. Look at the over the black makeup and the Asian hairdos in some of them. And then the way the light hits is so specific to get you a contour of their faces. So it looks like one face. It looks like one person. This is a really interesting conversation piece on what it means to be an African model, on what it means to be black in the industry. And it's not a forgetful, I forgot to put a light on. This is art. This is art.
That's great to hear. You're finally using your degree.
Oh yeah, my mom's so happy.
There is more drama, Al, between Britney Spears and her sister Jamie Lynn. So Al, this is what happened. Britney went on Twitter to slam her sister after her interview on GMA earlier this week. Now, she accused Jamie Lynn of selling her book at her expense. She went on to say that Jamie Lynn had everything given to her and never had to work for anything in her life. Jamie Lynn posted a lengthy response to her sister on Instagram. She said that it's become exhausting when the texts they have in private don't match what Britney posts on social. She said that Britney could tell the truth and put an end to all of it in 1 second if she wanted to, and that her family has gotten death threats over Britney's vague and accusatory posts. What do you think of the back and forth, Al?
I think it's sad, Sam. I think it's sad. I think that this family has unraveled long before either one of the sisters were famous, and now that they are, it's just happening in front of our eyes. I think this has been happening for decades. We've all seen Britney's struggles from 2007 on up through present day, through 2022, and I just think it's sad. And you know, it's hard. How do you comment, Sam, on something you don't know? I look at Britney, and I've had a lot of people close to me that have had issues with mental health, and a lot of Britney's posts, a lot of her statements have reminded me of them. But just like the people that are Team Britney, I don't know, and they don't know. Only her doctor knows, and I hope this incredibly talented human being gets the help she deserves and doesn't just become fodder on the internet for people to go back and forth over. These are two people's lives, and especially somebody's life could be at stake here with Britney and her mental health. So I wish the best for her, but it makes me sad, Sam.
Do you wish the best for both of them? You said you wish the best for her.
For both of them. I mean, for this family that just needs incredible healing. The father seems to be completely out of the picture and ostracized for his behavior. The sisters seem to be on the outs with each other. Does this look like your family, Erica, Tori, Sam? Does this look like a family that laughs together, that hugs each other, that's had any loving, positive interactions in the last 10 years? Because it doesn't to me.
Yeah. All right, we're out of time. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Real Housewives star Dorit Kemsley, how she's healing from a terrifying home invasion.
Closed captioning provided by...
When we started...
On January 7th, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky was interviewed by ABC's Good Morning America. Now, a quote from the discussion is being widely shared on social media. including a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. claiming 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities. So let's verify. Was CDC Director Rochelle Walensky referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities? Walensky was quoted responding to a question about whether COVID-19 vaccines are effective enough for us to start rethinking how we live with the virus. Journalist Cecilia Vega cited a CDC study when framing her question, but that was left out of the original broadcast. Walensky answered by citing a study of more than 1 million vaccinated people.
A study of 1.2 million people who were vaccinated between December and October and demonstrated that severe disease occurred in about 0.015% of the people who were received their primary series, and death in 0.003% of those people. The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities. So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
It showed only 1 in every 30,000 actually died, and of those, 75%, or 28 people, had at least 4 comorbidities. However, the broadcast cut off the first part of her answer, leaving the quote out of context. So it's false that CDC Director Rochelle Walensky was referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities. The interview was originally aired out of context, which led to misleading tweets. ABC has since released its entire interview with Walensky. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. She is one of the most fashionable housewives in Beverly Hills, but the past couple months have been far from glamorous for Dorit Kemsley. Earlier, we spoke with her about her recent home invasion. Take a look.
Dorit Kemsley, welcome to DBL.
Hello. Hi, Erica. Hi, Al. Happy to be here.
Hey, girl, we're happy to have you. Let's get started because 2021 was quite the year for you. You had some amazing accomplishments, including your fabulous bridal collection with Nectaria. But let's be honest, and I want to say this with a great deal of empathy, your home invasion in October was absolutely earth-shattering. So how are you doing as we kick off 2022?
Well, I can tell you I am doing better and better every day. Thank goodness. You know, it's a life-changing experience to go through something like that, but I am very fortunate, you know, the outcome. I'm here today. My children are okay. They're safe. They're healthy. They're well. And still to this day, you know, they don't know about it. So the rest, Mommy can do, one day at a time.
It's a great way to look at it. I mean, traumatic experiences remind us all that this experience of life is just short. So have these last few months that have been obviously traumatic had you wanting to mend any broken relationships as you move forward, because you don't know what happens day to day?
So true, Al. And I think that, you know, generally speaking, you'd probably, you know, consider those things. I think for me, it was really about focusing on family and really finding ways to navigate the new me, because I was a changed person. I'm not going to lie. You know, I jumped right back into filming, and I did so because of the outcome, you know, and for my children, when they woke up the next day, it was just a normal day for them. And it was very important to me that, you know, I continue to give that to them. So you'll see a lot of what I went through and am going through on the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But, you know, for me, the last couple of months, and it's only been a short couple of months, 2 or 3 months, it's been, the focus is mostly on the family and then myself. But I don't have any enemies, Al. So I don't have any, friendships I need to mend.
I'm happy to hear that. Let me get into another person I'm going to put on the hot seat, because that's Andy Cohen. Now, Andy Cohen was recently asked about the most iconic housewife fashion-wise. My immediate thought was, of course, it's Dorit, but he said Erica Jane. So what is your response to that?
I mean, if that's his opinion, that's his opinion. I think Erica, she's very fashionable. Fashion she's synonymous with it. She puts a lot of effort into her looks. I applaud her, and I think she's fantastic. So, it's not a competition. I think that, to each their own, and, I'll give him when I see him again.
I like how she said it's not a competition.
No
Girl, we all know it's
needed.
a competition. Come on now.
Absolutely. Now you need to talk to me, because I'm the father of 3. You have 2 little ones. So tell us how Amazon Glow is helping your family stay connected this new year, because I need to know, along with other fellow parents.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, this is going to change your life and your little one's life. Amazon Glow, it's an interactive projector and video calling device, and it allows you to stay connected to extended family or loved ones. And it allows my kids to draw and play and do puzzles and interact with loved ones that aren't in the room or in the state. But as a parent, Al, you should be on that right when we get off this call.
I'm excited. I will purchase one soon.
Yeah, you need it. I just want to thank you for joining our show. And to our viewers, check out Amazon.com/glow to get yours today. Dorit, it has been an honor and a pleasure, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year.
All right,
Happy New Year. We'll be right back.
We all know that.
Okay, so I wanted to hear, we ran out of time. First of all, you're art major. You're like, whoa, did you see how, her expertise came out like that? That was brilliant.
It was cool, right?
Yeah. What did you think about Britney and Jamie Lynn?
I have a very different take. I find Jamie Lynn, why are you going on Entertainment Tonight and you're going on GMA?
And why do you have a new book?
And why do you have a new book?
Now.
And why are you, if you're like, there aren't 2 sides, there are 2 sides. Abuse has been alleged. Real abuse, physical, verbal abuse, conservatorship abuse, IUD, lithium, and financial abuse. Exactly. So if you're going to go on GMA and not mention any of that to support your sister or say that that's not what happened, you're only creating more of a mess. I have no idea why you're there, other than you're trying to get more money. And I know a lot of people think, oh, but what about her side? She said nothing. She could have said my sister was absolutely in a terrible position.
What if she felt
she was abused?
victimized by her parents?
Then don't go and go marry in America. Because what are you doing? You're creating noise. Now we just got noise.
She had to defend her name to a degree.
The problem is she's defending her name, which I understand, but looking bad by selling books at the same time.
Right.
The optics are so weird.
Yeah, I don't know if she is too a victim of their parents, because I've just heard personally some very horrible things about their parents, especially their father.
And I feel bad if that's true, of course. Right. But don't go on GMA then, right? If you're a real victim, or say something.
Right.
Back your sister or don't.
And don't sell the book right now.
And don't sell the
Have
book.
some wherewithal to
Read that room.
put your personal whatever motivation
Dude.
aside for 6 months and let things cool down. Instead, you're capitalizing off this fight between you and your sister.
Yeah, and you're making Team Britney look like they're right over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one thing that supports that she supports her sister, ever.
And I always found it really weird, Tori, that the parents who are always Welcome back. If you're looking to change up your space this year, listen up. It's time for some DBL home hacks presented by American Home Shield. All right, we all know paint is messy. Instead, try to peel and stick wallpaper. It's a great way to spice up a space, and you can change it when you're over it. It's actually quite easy. Next, by peel and stick art prints to avoid putting nail holes in the wall. I had no idea. That's awesome. And lastly, hang curtains without leaving any marks from hooks or nails. Instead, just use a tension rod. A home warranty plan from American Home Shield helps cover many things homeowner insurance leaves out. You can rest easy knowing you're ready for whatever breaks down, inevitably what strikes next. Visit ahs.com to find a plan that'll be right for you. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by.
If you made a New Year's resolution, it's still probably too early to know if it's become an actual habit yet. For years, people have said that it takes 21 days to build a habit. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources for this question: Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor with Sun Counseling and Wellness, and a study on habit forming done by Philippa Laley. The thought that it takes 21 days to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study by Philippa Laley took 96 volunteers and investigated the process of forming a habit. The volunteers chose an eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded whether they carried out the behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some people longer and some people shorter to form a habit. Instead, Greco says there are a variety of reasons.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person, and it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not affect the habit formation process. Greco agrees.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify that no, it doesn't always take 21 days to form a habit. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The annual deadline for Americans to file their taxes is typically on or around April 15th. However, for the past 2 years, the IRS has pushed the tax filing deadline past April because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Amid the current surge of Omicron, it's clear that COVID-19 is still impacting a lot of people. So let's verify. Is the IRS pushing the tax deadline again this year? We went to these sources for an answer. In a January 10th press release about the tax filing season, the IRS confirmed this year's deadline is April 18th, and there's no indication that that will change. That date was also confirmed by TurboTax and CPA Practice Manager, a resource magazine for accounting and tax professionals. According to the IRS, April 18th is also the deadline for individuals to request an extension. If the extension request is granted, their new deadline would be October 17th. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiane Till.
Welcome back to DBL. I do want to show really quickly, we did not get to put up the AHS.com. There it is, the graphic. Go visit them. Okay, absolutely. Erica, you have something to say, right?
Yeah, we were talking about British Vogue, right. And it was a repost that I was reading from Yvette Noel Schur. It was from Edward Enninful, so I just wanted to make that correction in case anyone's like, what's this girl talking about?
Thank you for that clarification, Erica.
Give credit where credit's due.
Everybody has a wonderful weekend. We love you guys. DBL's new every day. We'll see you all Monday, same time, same place. Bye, Erica. Bye, Al.
Family members mourn the deaths of those who died in a New York City apartment building. Fire investigators are still piecing together what happened. The fire department quickly focused on doors that were left open and launched a social media campaign about the dangers of open doors during fires.
And you can prevent that fire from spreading and harming others. Close the door.
So let's verify. Can a closed door help limit the spread of fire and smoke? Our sources are Jim Milkey, chair of the Department of Fire Protection Engineering at the University of Maryland, and U.S. Fire Administrator Dr. Lori Moore Merrow. Both tell Verify closed doors limit the supply of oxygen, which helps fuel fires.
What happens when we don't close doors is that the fire is a loud feed on the air that it has.
A closed door can also limit how far smoke can travel. New York fire officials say smoke inhalation was the cause of death for all victims.
The fire didn't spread beyond the third floor, but the smoke did, and that was the culprit for the deaths.
It's not just entry doors that can help contain a fire. Firefighters are stressing the importance of closing bedroom doors while sleeping because it can help buy you and everyone else in your home time to escape.
It's giving you that additional time for either to get out an exterior window or for fire department folks to arrive.
So it's true, a closed door can help limit the spread of fire and smoke. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Is Omicron peaking? Our medical expert is here to talk about when cases could fall. Plus, how long can you wear your KN95 mask? Shapewear for middle school girls? Why a letter sent home had parents outraged. A former Miss Universe gets kicked off a plane for wearing something too revealing. Should she have to cover up? And our interview with Real Housewives star Dorit Kemsley, how she's healing after a terrifying home invasion. Plus, her message for Andy Cohen.
I'll give him when I see him again.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it through the week, Tori.
We did Friday.
Okay. All right. Erica and Dr. Coley joining us from home. Hello, ladies. Great to see you both. Today, we're going to actually start with some good news. Good. Maybe. We're almost there. New virus cases have begun to slow in several U.S. cities where Omicron first hit, thank goodness. But Dr. Coley, does this mean that we've hit peak Omicron, and do you think that we'll start to see cases going back down, please?
Ladies, happy Friday, and Friday brings us good news. So in fact, yes, many medical experts are saying that countries like the UK, South Africa may have already crossed their peak. We are not yet at our peak nationally, but there are cities that are starting to see cases go down or seeing the rate of growth go down. So I think we're really, really, really close. We just have to wait for it.
Thank goodness. Yeah, thank you for that.
You say, wait, I need like a timeline. Is this happening like next week? Is it going to be a month? Are we all getting Omicron? Does that mean that this peak means that it's like, for real this time?
No, great question, Erica. So girl, you have to wait about 2 to 4 weeks is what I would say. Do not get Omicron in the meantime if you can avoid it. I know you've just recovered and thankfully looking beautiful and doing well. But for the rest of us, do not get it if you don't have to, because it is possible that you could avoid it as the number of cases starts to go down. So I love to use a snow analogy because I love the winter and I love snow. But basically, we were in the thick of the snowstorm. It was really, really, really snowing out there. And now the rate of snowing has gone down, but we're not quite ready to leave our house yet. We got to wait till tomorrow morning when the sun comes out, and then we can dig out from the snow.
Here comes the sun. Thank you for that. It was beautiful. I do want to talk about this. It's really, really bugging me out. But yesterday, the Supreme Court, if you didn't know, blocked the president's vaccine mandate for large businesses. They did allow it for healthcare workers. So, Dr. Coley, from a very specific medical perspective, I just wanted to know what you thought of the decision.
Well, guys, I have to say the medical part makes a ton of sense. I mean, that's brilliant, right? When you go to the hospital for your stroke or your cancer treatment or your heart attack, the last thing you want to do is to catch COVID from someone on your healthcare team who may not know that they're infected. And I've personally seen that happen to a number of patients. So I'm thrilled that this is happening on a system-wide level. But it really upsets me. Actually, I'm frankly angry, and I really just don't understand the logic behind not applying the same science to a large employer organization with over 100 employees where we know that COVID spreads from person to person. So how in the world does it make any sense to say, oh yeah, it's good for hospitals to do that, but not for other workplaces? And I think all they've done is made our lives more difficult. And I'm really upset about it. But how do you guys feel? Do you think that this is a reasonable thing to do, or?
I think it will prolong the virus. It will just continue to prolong the virus, and I just want anything to hasten the end of the virus, simply put.
I'm exactly with Tori. What about you, Erica?
But Tori, you're all about
No, go ahead, Dr. Coley.
I was just going to say, Tori is all about legal rights and making sure we're protecting people's legal rights. Do you think we're violating their rights by asking them to get vaccines? And Erica, I want your opinion as well.
Not only is there precedent from 1905, Jackson versus Massachusetts, that already said no, we already have this with polio, diphtheria, going yellow fever if you have to go across. Vaccine mandates are ruled constitutional. It has been long in our histories past. George Washington inoculated his group of people and his soldiers with smallpox inoculation and quarantined people. So I find it completely inane, just like you said. Sorry, little outburst.
No, thank you for that history lesson. It was wonderful.
Sorry. Oh.
Facts.
Exactly. So then I
you know what? I should have copied off of Tori on my history test. History was not my thing. I'm a science person.
I doubt that, Dr. Coley. I'm sure you had A pluses in every subject.
I did too.
But what effect do you think, Dr. Coley, it would have had on the pandemic if they did indeed allow the vaccine mandate to go through?
A huge effect, guys. You've already seen the effect of the vaccines in just one short year, getting our lives back to normal, making it less severe. As Tori said, not only would it have shortened the duration of this pain that we're all having to go through with the masks and the mitigation measures, but I actually believe that this decision has cost human lives. Because for every 1 million cases that you have of the infection, you're going to have some percentage end up like our poor Eric, end up losing their lives, end up in the ICU, end up with long-term disability. And this sort of what I think is a bit of a callous decision, and definitely not scientifically supported, is going to pay the price of human lives.
Wow.
Wow. Well said, Dr. Coley. Okay, we always want to involve our viewers, and a lot of our viewers are asking, what type of mask is the best mask for Omicron specifically? Is it time to ditch that cloth and paper mask? And also, another viewer asked the difference between the N95 and the KN95 masks.
Yeah, so definitely get rid of those cloth masks. I don't want to see any of them on any of your pretty faces from now on. So the least you can do is the surgical mask, but as you know, it's thin and it's loose fitting. So this is the bare minimum. And this is what I might use if I'm walking around outside in the park, for example. But if I'm going inside a grocery store, I'm going to get the KN95, which is thicker, and it has a material that actually has better filtration capacity, and it fits tighter to my face. Easier to wear because it goes around the year. But the best mask, the Tesla of the masks that I like to call it, is the N95. This is what doctors wear when they go in to see patients that have tuberculosis, for example.
Wow. Yeah.
Because not only is it thicker, the shape of it actually makes sure that it kind of protects your nose and your mouth. It's got straps that fit around your head, so it's really nice tight fit, and it has little particles in it that are charged with electrostatic properties that actually trap virus particles.
Wow.
So I wear this when I see patients, and this is the best one in terms of protection.
Good to know.
I should have cheated on her for science.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about the KN95 masks, because people don't know how long they should be wearing them before they throw them out, and are they washable?
Yeah, so we've been saying single use only, but I know that that's not particularly practical, especially because they can get expensive. If you're wearing an N95, it can be a couple of dollars. So what I like to do, guys, is to put it on the inside and then put, surgical mask on top that I can sort of throw out every day. So I'm not bringing in a dirty surgical mask and putting it back on my face. But you can't wash them. You cannot wash them because it's going to degrade the material, affect the properties, and affect the fit. So what I would say is wear it maybe 4 or 5 times, up to a week, depending on whether or not you think it starts to feel a little funky to you at some point, or the elastic's getting a little too stretched or whatever. But don't wear it longer than that, because you're going to start to lose some of the protective benefits.
Great information. Before we let you go, Dr. Coley, I saw this new study, and I have to ask you about it. It found that women are 32% more likely to die after an operation if their surgeon is male. Can you tell me more about this, and what should some of our women viewers right now do when picking their doctors?
So, I want to give you my perspective as a woman, and then I want to give you my perspective as a physician. So this is an observational study where we looked at observed just how people do with what type of patient gender and what type of physician gender. And what we found is when there's a discordance between the patient specifically being female and the doctor being male, they might do a little worse. But to me, guys, this doesn't tell me as a physician that are less experts, are more inefficient at what they do, or they're not doing their job right. What it tells me is that, and reminds me, is that the connection to the patient is probably one of the most important things in terms of determining their outcome. So I feel like this is more a reflection of how connected the patient feels to the physician, how comfortable they're asking questions. And as a female cardiologist, I often get women coming to me and saying, I want another woman, because women understand women a little better. But how do you guys react to this? Do you think it'll affect the gender of the doctor that you might pick?
I just naturally gravitate towards female doctors. That's just me. Erica, go ahead. Sorry.
Me too.
I think that the same logic can be applied even for race.
Yes,
we've been having this conversation about the disparity in healthcare, and I think that this is just another layer of that same conversation.
Well said, Erica. Dr. Coley, thank you.
It's so true.
We appreciate Dr. Coley. Have a great weekend. I hope you're not working, but you probably are. If you guys have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. Thank you again, Dr. Coley. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey guys, want to read a little bit of few of what you guys are saying. I appreciate you appreciate me appreciating you when I get on the call. You know what I mean, on this thing? So thank you. Stewie Griffin, which by the way, great name. He always mentions every word, and every word is in uppercase. I don't know how he does it, but he wrote, listen to doctors, they will save your life. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to say that out loud because somebody out there might need to hear it. Somebody says, and you know what I love about you guys is someone's like, I hope you're feeling well in the chat. The chat has become a little bit of like a COVID platform for me, like a social platform. I don't know if it's become that for you guys, but it's a place I go consistently and routinely to voice my opinions and know that I won't get hurt. And if someone is going to be there and a keyboard warrior, what do, Tiffany? We kick them out. We kick them out. We kick them out. But I just want to say it's lovely to have a safe space. And I think a lot of you wrote me yesterday on my birthday and said that it has been that way for you. So I really appreciate YouTube and all of that. Also, Al says I look like a pretty woman.
Brian says you look like Pebbles Flintstone.
Pebbles Flintstone on the street, a pretty woman. The kind I'd like to meet, pretty woman. Yeah, I don't believe you. That's Roy Orbison, everyone. Thank you.
Now, if you go to Hollywood on, is it Las Palmas Street?
You can see the apartment that Richard Gere pulled up to and then climbed that little ladder and where she's perched. I think it's Las Palmas. I used to live right there.
And he says, what happens when he rescues the princess? And she says, she'll rescue him right back.
Yes.
What a line.
And wasn't she just a baby, like 20 or 21?
Very young. Remember the Sharpie? When it was black Sharpie, when it was all...
Off a lot more mature. Very much.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Al is here joining us from home. Hi, Al. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday.
Thank you. Well, we got some big news from across the pond, and it's bad for the royal family, especially Prince Andrew. He has been forced to give up his military titles as well as all of his royal duties supporting charities. And this is all because a federal judge in New York has allowed the sexual abuse case against him to move forward. Now he'll have to face the lawsuit as a private citizen. Virginia Giuffre has accused him of raping her when she was a teenager. She reacted to the news. Her case will move forward, saying, quote, "My goal has always been to show the rich and the powerful that they are not above the law and must be held accountable." Okay, so Al, here's the thing. When they made that determination, it's because they feel they have enough evidence to prosecute him. So again, we try on the show not to speculate. We treat you innocent until proven guilty, but knowing that DA feels they have enough evidence, to me, there's a lot of fire there.
Well, I mean, the DA aside, I think the royal family thinks that there's enough evidence because they are really just kind of offering him up as a sacrifice. Like, look, we both agree that this person has done something that was not okay and they need to be punished. I mean, before this, I think that this would have been stonewalled by the royal family, but the fact that they are so publicly stripping him of his status, I think is a big indicator that he's in some trouble, as he should be if he is guilty of these crimes.
I'm glad it just reached royalty. I'm just glad it got to where it needed to go. I will say this, there's the Platinum Jubilee for the Queen. She's the longest reigning monarch in history, British history. Coming up on February 6th, where everyone throws pudding parties and they celebrate the Queen. And I wonder if the visuals and optics needed this to happen before February 6th.
That's interesting. Erica, what are you thinking about all this? And this is a civil case. I just want to say not criminal. This is civil, but still, if we can get some justice.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I think Prince Andrew is just another member of the Lucky Conception Club who used his power and all of his privilege to abuse and do predatory behavior against young women. And it's absolutely appropriate for him to be standing up for himself civilly as a private citizen because he's just another dude who, for all practical purposes, did the wrong thing, and now he should be made to stand those consequences.
Amen, Erica. You have people echoing your sentiment left and right.
When people, I just remember when he said he couldn't sweat. Do you remember that in the interview?
Yeah.
He's sweating now.
I know.
He's sweating now.
Well, we will have to follow this story. Coming up on DBL, a letter to parents of middle school girls about shapewear didn't go over so well. Why the school is now apologizing.
On January 7th, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky was interviewed by ABC's Good Morning America. Now, a quote from the discussion is being widely shared on social media, including a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. claiming 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities. So, let's verify. Was CDC Director Rochelle Walensky referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities? Walensky was quoted responding to a question about whether COVID-19 vaccines are effective enough for us to start rethinking how we live with the virus. Journalist Cecilia Vega cited a CDC study when framing her question, but that was left out of the original broadcast. Walensky answered by citing a study of more than 1 million vaccinated people.
A study of 1.2 million people who were vaccinated between December and October and demonstrated that severe disease occurred in about 0.015% of the people who were received their primary series, and death in 0.003% of those people. The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities. So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
It showed only 1 in every 30,000 actually died, and of those, 75%, or 28 people, had at least 4 comorbidities. However, the broadcast cut off the first part of her answer, leaving the quote out of context. So, it's false that CDC Director Rochelle Walensky was referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities. The interview was originally aired out of context, which led to misleading tweets. ABC has since released its entire interview with Walensky. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. So does shapewear help with body image issues? Well, a Mississippi middle school seemed to think so. Counselors at the school sent a letter home with their students that talked about body image issues among females. Now, at the bottom of the letter, parents were offered the option to sign to give their consent, allowing their daughters to receive healthy literature and shapewear clothing items. Now, their attempt to address girls' body image issues sparked outrage amongst the parents. The principal said the counselors had nothing but good intentions. The program has since been canceled. Tori, what are you thinking about all this? Because you always talk about shapewear on this show. And
yeah, I'm wearing it now. I'll be 100%. I'm wearing a squeam. It's really intense. It's like an old school corset, like with a blacksmith person. Like it's like that old
And does it make you feel better?
And it makes me feel 1,000% better. That being said, you might not have known I just turned 40 and I'm not 13.
Right.
And at 13, this is entirely inappropriate. And may I ask, did the boys get a letter saying if they are heavy, they get shapewear
did
too?
not.
It's just so inane to me. It's almost silly that they thought this would cure or help instead of actually going into the brain and helping the mental aspect.
Erica?
That's absurd.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
It's absurd.
Like, I don't know whose good intentions came to this conclusion. Now, I think this is ridiculous, but that being said, I would have really appreciated during my preteen, teen years, someone to really explain to me like the appropriate undergarments to wear. That was always something that was like, and I mean like bras, like I didn't understand, you know, until I was much older, the appropriate bra to wear. That could have gone a very long way. Now, in terms of like what else is going on with my body and to put something like that on. Also, be aware that these are children and their bodies are developing.
Yeah,
so the
changing.
idea of constricting their bodies in that way could definitely cause long-term consequences.
Al, how would you have felt? Because you have a teenage daughter. If you were sent home that letter, would you think, hey, they're trying to help her, or would it offend you as a parent?
I would, you know, my first thought is like I would be livid, but really I guess my first thought would just be confusion. Tori brought it up. why aren't they talking to the boys as well? But a bigger side to it, I look at it like, so we're worried about physical, you know, how these young women are feeling about their physical appearance. So we give them something to physically suppress their physical appearance rather than going towards the psychological route and talking to them about that they are beautiful no matter how they look and no matter how they feel. Here's some tips to get healthier, to just feel as healthy as you possibly can. We are going to have this for the men and the women and however you identify. Everybody, we're all going to get healthier and elevate our psychological IQ rather than just saying, here, put this tight constricting outfit on so you don't feel as bad about yourself. I just don't see where they were going with that.
Yeah, I think they had good intent. I'll give them that credit. And apparently they did have literature to address the mental health aspect of it. However, their delivery and their
like if Sophie came home with
oh
this,
my
what
gosh.
would you have
I mean, you're
thought?
pretty much telling my daughter to hide her body.
Yeah.
You're pretty much saying your body needs to look this way. Now, I agree with you, Erica, that yes, later down the road, and that can be a conversation between a parent and or a caretaker and their child when it comes to like, hey, mom, I want to feel better with this bra, or I want to. That, in my opinion, should be a conversation between that caretaker and that child. But the fact that this school also apparently did this in a way that was not in a blanket way, but also gave the kids the letters. So and not all the kids got them. So you're already targeted, you're already singled out you already are insecure because you're going through puberty. And then you look in your bag and you see a letter to your parents saying,
crush me.
Yeah, we want to start wearing, we want your child to wear shapewear.
My shame would start that day.
Everybody didn't get one?
Not everybody.
No, not everyone got one. Yeah, exactly, Erica. Wow. All right, coming up on DBL. Former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo is calling out a certain airline for telling her she better cover up. We'll tell you what happened. Plus, this Vogue cover has a lot of people talking. Do these models deserve better when it comes to highlighting their beautiful features?
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Year's resolution, it's still probably too early to know if it's become an actual habit yet. For years, people have said that it takes 21 days to build a habit. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources for this question: Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor with Sun Counseling and Wellness, and a study on habit forming done by Philippa Laley. The thought that it takes 21 days to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study by Philippa Laley took 96 volunteers and investigated the process of forming a habit. The volunteers chose an eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded whether they carried out the behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some people longer and some people shorter to form a habit. Instead, Greco says there are a variety of reasons.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person, and it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not affect the habit formation process. Greco agrees.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify that no, it doesn't always take 21 days to form a habit. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The annual deadline for Americans to file their taxes is typically on or around April 15th. However, for the past 2 years, the IRS has pushed the tax filing deadline past April because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Amid the current surge of Omicron, it's clear that COVID-19 is still impacting a lot of people. So let's verify. Is the IRS pushing the tax deadline again this year? We went to these sources for an answer. In a January 10th press release about the tax filing season, the IRS confirmed this year's deadline is April 18th, and there's no indication that that will change. That date was also confirmed by TurboTax and CPA Practice Manager, a resource magazine for accounting and tax professionals. According to the IRS, April 18th is also the deadline for individuals to request an extension. If the extension request is granted, their new deadline would be October 17th. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiande Till.
Oh my goodness, our viewers are heated about the Mississippi story. So we have Mary Bennett. Mississippi is consistently in the top 10 least educated states. I think they need to put their focus somewhere else. Mary writes, OMG, do these people have nothing better to do? Leave our girls alone. Serena says, yes, it is too young. Your body is finding its shape on its own during those years. It is called puberty. Donnie says the way they're doing this is totally wrong, but if you want to wear a shaper, I don't care if you're in junior high as long as you're not forced to. And Carrie says, too young, shame on this school. Looks like everyone's in agreement. That usually never happens in our comment section.
Sam, can I just say this really quickly? I went to college in Mississippi. There's a lot of good folks down there. One school doesn't speak for everyone.
I love that you said that, Al. It's important for all of us to know not to paint with a broad brush. Thank you for that. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Our interview with the fabulous Dorit Kemsley from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And speaking of the Real Housewives, did the ladies go too far with their outfits on the Salt Lake City reunion? We're going to talk all about that next.
Family members mourn the deaths of those who died in a New York City apartment building. Fire investigators are still piecing together what happened. The fire department quickly focused on doors that were left open and launched a social media campaign about the dangers of open doors during fires.
And you can prevent that fire from spreading and harming others. Close the door.
So let's verify. Can a closed door help limit the spread of fire and smoke? Our sources are Jim Milkey, chair of the Department of Fire Protection Engineering at the University of Maryland, and U.S. Fire Administrator Dr. Lori Moore Merrow. Both tell Verify closed doors limit the supply of oxygen, which helps fuel fires.
What happens when we don't close doors is that the fire is allowed to feed on the air that it has.
A closed door can also limit how far smoke can travel. New York fire officials say smoke inhalation was the cause of death for all victims.
The fire didn't spread beyond the third floor, but the smoke did, and that was the culprit for the deaths.
It's not just entry doors that can help contain a fire. Firefighters are stressing the importance of closing bedroom doors while sleeping because it can help buy you and everyone else in your home time to escape.
It's giving you that additional time for either to get out an exterior window or for fire department folks to arrive.
So it's true. A closed door can help limit the spread of fire and smoke. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Al and Erica joining us from home. So let's get right to it. Former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo was forced to cover up ahead of her American Airlines flight to Mexico. Her sister posted the whole ordeal on Instagram. Have a look and then we'll chat.
Olivia and I are going to Cabo, and look at her outfit. She looks cute. She looks appropriate. No, they call her up to the desk and tell her that she needs to put a blouse on, otherwise she can't get on the plane. Tell me, is that not so up? American Airlines, I love you so much. Please get me to Cabo.
So let's take a look again at what Olivia was wearing. It looks like a sports bra and biking shorts. In another post, Olivia is seen covered up in her boyfriend's gray hoodie, while another passenger comes over to compare her similar outfit to Olivia's original look. Okay, so Tori, you were chiming in while this was playing. What were you saying? I couldn't even...
Well, I was thinking kind of, Courtney and I, my producer, we were both saying, like, would this really ever happen to a dude? Would it really ever happen to a man? And also, like, American Airlines has just got in trouble with this, and it just seems so wishy-washy. Like, what's the rule? Are we not supposed to have leggings? Are we? But at the same time, I just want to say, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable sitting next to someone in, like, a bra and underwear. So I also see the other side being like, that's super uncomfortable in a pandemic to show that much skin. Do I think we should be policing it? No, but I get the side that's uncomfortable with it.
Erica, what do you feel?
Yeah, I do agree with the part about there needs to be consistency if they're going to actually have a dress code that they're going to enforce. That being said, somebody at American Airlines was hating that day. Yeah. That's all it was. Because when you don't have consistency in what the dress code is, then you can just pick who you want it to apply to that day. And that day she picked Olivia, and or he picked Olivia, and that's what had happened.
What do you think, Al?
I mean, they say always to use the right word when you're trying to describe something, and Erica just did it. It was just hating. This was a personal decision. This isn't American Airlines. That's just a company. American Airlines is its employees, and this employee took a particular dislike, it seems like, to this woman because there was another woman there that seemed to be showing more skin than Olivia was. Either way, they need to arm their employees with a knowledge of what is acceptable and what is not. Is it the midriff? Does that apply for both genders? Because I believe every rule that they put should go for everybody, every gender, not just the two typical ones. So I will just say this: I think that American Airlines is doing themselves disservice and their employees a disservice by not giving them the tools to say, this is against the rules in our handbook, here's that rule, here's how you're in violation of that. It's just kind of up to a gate agent, and sometimes, like Erica said, they're hating.
But we don't know that. I'll play devil's advocate. We don't know if that gate agent was hating or not, because it does clearly violate their wardrobe, against their wardrobe rules. And that isn't
But what's the clarity?
Like, why did the other person not get asked to cover up?
Well, the other person was wearing full pants, and you barely saw any midriff. So I do see a difference between the two outfits. Would I care? No. I think she looks beautiful. Both of them do. But it's not appropriate. It's not professional. Why do we always have to assume that that gate agent is hating, when in reality, maybe they're just doing their job? Because I do see a difference between Olivia's outfit and the other passenger's outfit.
Sam, what if it was a male and he had on one of those tank tops, but they're like the spaghetti string, you know, they're the ones that the really serious weightlifters wear, where it's almost not a shirt, it almost looks like it's being ripped off them. Would that be okay? It's covering up everything.
But I don't care. I don't. I promise you, I don't care.
I mean,
trying to speak.
I don't think you do, Sam.
But
You're
I'm trying
very
to
chill.
speak. I'm trying to present another side to that gate agent, because none of us know if that gate agent is doing their job or if they are hating. So I'm just presenting that other side, because we do not know. Fair. And if they're doing their job, why are they in trouble?
Fair.
Anyways. Okay.
I want Sam to be my manager. I love it.
I just watch Erica's face the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is Erica thinking? Okay, so speaking of questionable outfits, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are being slammed over their reunion gowns. Bravo gave a sneak peek at what the ladies will be wearing for the upcoming reunion special. Now, some fans were quick to judge the over-the-top looks. One person said the outfit might be the worst in Housewives history. Another said they were giving off millennial prom vibes. And another pointed out that Jen Shah's purple feathered gown looked like Cardi B's dress that she wore to the American Music Awards last year. But that was no accident. Jen said Cardi was actually her inspiration. Okay, so Erica, I gotta start with you, because I know you watched this show too. What did you think, honestly, when you first saw all their looks?
Everyone looks on brand. I mean, that's what we watch the reunion for. We want to see who's going to be held accountable, who's going to show up, and we want to see what they're wearing. And everyone who we've shown today looks exactly the way that I would anticipated they would look.
But did you like it? Would Erica wear any of those looks?
I don't. Maybe a couple, but
let me help
it's
Erica
just
out. The only time that you would wear those is if you were going to a high school dance that you found out was just a sham, and you just show up and it's just you there. Those outfits are terrible. But, and there's a comment in that sentence, I appreciate the effort. I love fashion. I love when people are fashion forward, and when you're fashion forward, you're gonna miss a lot, but that's important for the culture. I'm sure the first time somebody wore thigh-high boots or a choker or whatever, when the first time it looked crazy, but now it's normal, because that's what fashion does. It pushes the envelope and backs up a little bit. So I think this was a huge miss, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, should I go?
Sure.
I feel like I don't want to say anything rude, because you're right, style's subjective, but I subjectively didn't really like those outfits. But that's me, and I appreciate them showing up.
Yeah, and I agree with Erica here. I don't like the outfits personally, but this is exactly what I would expect for each of them to show up.
Then it's perfect.
So it's perfectly on brand, good for them, they're owning it, it's them. Do you, boo? Okay, so a British...
Are the housewives there with you guys, Sam? Why are you guys giving answers like they're right off camera?
They're
like,
behind me,
I
Al.
don't...
No, it just is what it is. Let's move on.
I think if you watched it, Al, you would understand what Eric and I are saying. It's definitely them. You want people to be them. Embrace yourself. Okay, so a British Vogue cover featuring 9 African models is being criticized. So the cover was meant to celebrate the models, but some on social media called it offensive over the use of bad lighting and styling, which made the models appear darker. But others claim that the photo taken by a Brazilian photographer is art, and that he had used a similar style in his previous photographs, and this was all intentional. So last year, Vogue was criticized for its 2 covers featuring Vice President Kamala Harris, with many people saying that she looked washed out. And in 2020, the Simone Biles Vogue cover got some people upset because she was photographed by Annie Leibovitz and not a black photographer. Eric, I've actually been really wanting to talk to you about this because I've seen all over my social media people commending it and then other people criticizing it. I don't know where to go. I don't know which is right. What did you feel?
Well, I don't think we should conflate those 3 covers, but I will say that the February issue of British Vogue was done very intentionally. Was it intentional the way that the critics are suggesting that it is? No. You have to remember that this was a team of black and brown artists spanning and representing the globe who came together on this cover. Not only the cover, but the entire editorial piece. These same people are responsible for some of the most iconic people, places, and spaces that we celebrate in pop culture today. People are talking about the stylist, Yvette Noel, sure. Yvette Noel clearly had a prolific vision for the moment that the rise of the African model meets the February British Vogue, which is ushering in the new collection. They're talking about the photographer, Rafael Pavarotti. Rafael has been known and been called, basically his editorial work is talked about as the prism to evoke conversation on cultural and social issues. That means it's art. It's meant for us to talk about it. So I think that it is important that everyone's having a conversation about it. But on January 18th, I would really suggest that anyone who is truly invested in this conversation go to the newsstands and support, because if you want to have this conversation in a very nuanced and in a totality way, you need to see the entire spread. So I'm really anxious to see the whole thing. I think that it was beautifully done. And I mean, Tori, you're an art history major. Like, what do you see, or what are some things that you feel about what you're seeing right now?
I completely agree with you that this to me is art. And if you go back to the picture, everything is so intentional. So to suggest this is washing out or bad lighting, look at the color of Vogue with the bench. Look at, they all look like one unit. Look like they look like a team. Look at the over the black makeup and the Asian hairdos in some of them. And then the way the light hits is so specific to get you a contour of their faces. So it looks like one face. It looks like one person. This is a really interesting conversation piece on what it means to be an African model, on what it means to be black in the industry. And it's not a forgetful, I forgot to put a light on. This is art. This is art.
It's great to hear. You're finally using your degree.
Oh, yeah. My mom's so happy.
There is more drama, Al, between Britney Spears and her sister Jamie Lynn. So, Al, this is what happened. Britney went on Twitter to slam her sister after her interview on GMA earlier this week. Now, she accused Jamie Lynn of selling her book at her expense. She went on to say that Jamie Lynn had everything given to her and never had to work for anything in her life. Jamie Lynn posted a lengthy response to her sister on Instagram. She said that it's become exhausting when the texts they have in private don't match what Britney posts on social. She said that Britney could tell the truth and put an end to all of it in 1 second if she wanted to, and that her family has gotten death threats over Britney's vague and accusatory posts. What do you think of the back and forth, Al?
I think it's sad, Sam. I think it's sad. I think that this family has unraveled long before either one of the sisters were famous, and now that they are, it's just happening in front of our eyes. I think this has been happening for decades. We've all seen Britney's struggles from 2007 on up through present day, through 2022, and I just think it's sad. And you know, it's hard. How do you comment, Sam, on something you don't know? I look at Britney, and I've had a lot of people close to me that have had issues with mental health, and a lot of Britney's posts, a lot of her statements have reminded me of them. But just like the people that are Team Britney, I don't know and they don't know. Only her doctor knows, and I hope this incredibly talented human being gets the help she deserves and doesn't just become fodder on the internet for people to go back and forth over. These are two people's lives, and especially somebody's life could be at stake here with Britney and her mental health. So I wish the best for her, but it makes me sad, Sam.
Do you wish the best for both of them? You said you wish the best for her.
For both of them. I mean, for this family that just needs incredible healing. The father seems to be completely out of the picture and ostracized for his behavior. The sisters seem to be on the outs with each other. Does this look like your family, Erica, Tori, Sam? Does this look like a family that laughs together, that hugs each other, that's had any loving, positive interactions in the last 10 years? Because it doesn't to me.
Yeah. All right, we're out of time. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Real Housewives star Dorit Kemsley, how she's healing from a terrifying home invasion.
Closed captioning provided by
When we
Okay, so I wanted to hear, we ran out of time. First of all, you're art major. You're like, whoa, did you see how, like, her expertise came out like that? That was brilliant.
It was cool, right?
Yeah. What did you think about Britney and Jamie Lynn?
I have a very different take. I find Jamie Lynn, why are you going on Entertainment Tonight and you're going on GMA?
And why do you have a new book?
And why do you have a new book?
Now.
And why are you, if you're like, there aren't two sides, there are two sides. Abuse has been alleged. Real abuse, physical, verbal abuse, conservatorship abuse, IUD, lithium, and financial abuse. Exactly. So if you're gonna go on GMA and not mention any of that to support your sister or say that that's not what happened, you're only creating more of a mess. I have no idea why you're there, other than you're trying to get more money. And I know a lot of people think, oh, but what about her side? She said nothing. She could have said my sister was absolutely in a terrible position.
What if she felt
she was abused?
victimized by her parents?
Then don't go and go marry in America. Because what are you doing? You're creating noise. Now we just got noise.
She had to defend her name to a degree.
The problem is she's defending her name, which I understand, but looking bad by selling books at the same time.
Right,
the optics are so weird.
Yeah, I don't know if she is too a victim of their parents, because I've just heard personally some very horrible things about their parents, especially their father.
And I feel bad if that's true, of course. Right. But don't go on GMA then, right? If you're a real victim, or say something.
Right.
Back your sister or don't.
And don't sell the book right now.
And don't sell the
Have
book.
some like wherewithal to
Read that
put
room.
your personal whatever motivation
Dude.
aside for 6 months and let things cool down. Instead, you're capitalizing off this fight between you and your sister.
Yeah, and you're making Team Britney look like they're right over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one thing that supports that she supports her sister, ever.
And I always found it really weird, Tori, that the parents who are always accused.
Miss a day of DBL. Bold debates, there's sense and there's nonsense.
Where do we go?
Hot celebs.
We're like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And all the laughs. DBL is all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. She is one of the most fashionable housewives in Beverly Hills, but the past couple months have been far from glamorous for Dorit Kemsley. Earlier, we spoke with her about her recent home invasion. Take a look.
Dorit Kemsley, welcome to DBL.
Hello. Hi, Erica. Hi, Al. Happy to be here.
Hey, girl, we're happy to have you. Let's get started because 2021 was quite the year for you. You had some amazing accomplishments, including your fabulous bridal collection with Nectaria. But let's be honest, and I want to say this with a great deal of empathy, your home invasion in October was absolutely earth-shattering. So how are you doing as we kick off 2022?
Well, I can tell you I am doing better and better every day. Thank goodness. You know, it's a life-changing experience to go through something like that, but I am very fortunate, you know, the outcome. I'm here today. My children are okay. They're safe. They're healthy. They're well. And still to this day, you know, they don't know about it. So the rest, Mommy can do, one day at a time.
It's a great way to look at it. I mean, traumatic experiences remind us all that this experience of life is just short. So have these last few months that have been obviously traumatic had you wanting to mend any broken relationships as you move forward, because you don't know what happens day to day?
So true, Al. And I think that, generally speaking, you'd probably consider those things. I think for me, it was really about focusing on family and really finding ways to navigate the new me, because I was a changed person. I'm not going to lie. I jumped right back into filming, and I did so because of the outcome, and for my children, when they woke up the next day, it was just a normal day for them. And it was very important to me that, I continue to give that to them. So you'll see a lot of what I went through and am going through on the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But, for me, the last couple of months, and it's only been a short couple of months, 2 or 3 months, it's been, the focus is mostly on the family and then myself. But I don't have any enemies, Al, so I don't have any, friendships I need to mend.
I'm happy to hear that. Let me get into another person I'm going to put on the hot seat, because that's Andy Cohen. Now, Andy Cohen was recently asked about the most iconic housewife fashion-wise. My immediate thought was, of course, it's Dorit, but he said Erica Jane. So what is your response to that?
I mean, if that's his opinion, that's his opinion. I think Erica, she's very fashionable. Fashion she's synonymous with it. She puts a lot of effort into her looks. I applaud her, and I think she's fantastic. So, it's not a competition. I think that, to each their own, and, I'll give him when I see him again.
I like how she said it's not a competition.
No,
girl, we all know
needed.
It's a competition. Come on now.
Absolutely. Now you need to talk to me, because I'm the father of 3. You have 2 little ones. So tell us how Amazon Glow is helping your family stay connected this new year, because I need to know, along with other fellow parents.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, this is going to change your life and your little one's life. Amazon Glow, it's an interactive projector and video calling device, and it allows you to stay connected to extended family or loved ones. And it allows my kids to draw and play and do puzzles and interact with loved ones that aren't in the room or in the state. But as a parent, Al, you should be on that right when we get off this call.
I'm excited. I will purchase one soon.
Yeah, you need it. I just want to thank you for joining our show. And to our viewers, check out Amazon.com/glow to get yours today. Dorit, it has been an honor and a pleasure, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year.
All right,
Happy New Year. We'll be right back.
We all know that
On January 7th, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky was interviewed by ABC's Good Morning America. Now, a quote from the discussion is being widely shared on social media, including a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. claiming 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities. So, let's verify. Was CDC Director Rochelle Walensky referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities? Walensky was quoted responding to a question about whether COVID-19 vaccines are effective enough for us to start rethinking how we live with the virus. Journalist Cecilia Vega cited a CDC study when framing her question, but that was left out of the original broadcast. Walensky answered by citing a study of more than 1 million vaccinated people.
A study of 1.2 million people who were vaccinated between December and October, and demonstrated that severe disease occurred in about 0.015% of the people who were received their primary series, and death in 0.003% of those people. The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities. So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
It showed only 1 in every 30,000 actually died, and of those, 75%, or 28 people, had at least 4 comorbidities. However, the broadcast cut off the first part of her answer, leaving the quote out of context. So it's false that CDC Director Rochelle Walensky was referring to all COVID-19 deaths when she said 75% of deaths were in people with 4 comorbidities. The interview was originally aired out of context, which led to misleading tweets. ABC has since released its entire interview with Walensky. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. If you're looking to change up your space this year, listen up. It's time for some DBL home hacks presented by American Home Shield. All right, we all know paint is messy. Instead, try to peel and stick wallpaper. It's a great way to spice up a space, and you can change it when you're over it. It's actually quite easy. Next, buy peel and stick art prints to avoid putting nail holes in the wall. I had no idea. That's awesome. And lastly, hang curtains without leaving any marks from hooks or nails. Instead, just use a tension rod. A home warranty plan from American Home Shield helps cover many things homeowner insurance leaves out. You can rest easy knowing you're ready for whatever breaks down, inevitably what strikes next. Visit ahs.com to find a plan that'll be right for you. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Are you on medic?
New Year's resolution, it's still probably too early to know if it's become an actual habit yet. For years, people have said that it takes 21 days to build a habit. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources for this question: Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor with Sun Counseling and Wellness, and a study on habit forming done by Philippa Laley. The thought that it takes 21 days to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study by Philippa Laley took 96 volunteers and investigated the process of forming a habit. The volunteers chose an eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded whether they carried out the behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some people longer and some people shorter to form a habit. Instead, Greco says there are a variety of reasons.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person, and it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not affect the habit formation process. Greco agrees.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify that no, it doesn't always take 21 days to form a habit. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The annual deadline for Americans to file their taxes is typically on or around April 15th. However, for the past 2 years, the IRS has pushed the tax filing deadline past April because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Amid the current surge of Omicron, it's clear that COVID-19 is still impacting a lot of people. So let's verify. Is the IRS pushing the tax deadline again this year? We went to these sources for an answer. In a January 10th press release about the tax filing season, the IRS confirmed this year's deadline is April 18th, and there's no indication that that will change. That date was also confirmed by TurboTax and CPA Practice Manager, a resource magazine for accounting and tax professionals. According to the IRS, April 18th is also the deadline for individuals to request an extension. If the extension request is granted, their new deadline would be October 17th. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiane Till.
Welcome back to DBL. I do want to show really quickly, we did not get to put up the ahs.com. There it is, the graphic. Go visit them. Okay, Erica, you have something to say, right?
Yeah, we were talking about British Vogue,
Right.
and it was a repost that I was reading from Yvette Noel Schur. It was from Edward Innenful, so I just wanted to make that correction in case anyone's like, what's this girl talking about?
Thank you for that clarification, Erica.
Give
we
credit
hope
where credit's
everybody has a
due.
wonderful weekend. We love you guys. DBL's new every day. We'll see you all Monday, same time, same place. Bye, Erica. Bye, Al.